Dang, I was rusty there. It's like, where's the other button at? I don't even know where it's at right now. It's only been 2 weeks. I'm like starting to lose it there. Long day at work. Might be the holiday fog with the holiday next week. So, which is weird having it, of course, July 4th on a Tuesday. Lost Todd there. I don't know if he just flipped down and tried to update something, but welcome back, everybody, tonight. Mal back in the house and pretty much regular now, I believe. So, should be good to go going forward. There's Todd back on his return.
I don't know if it was just me, but when you came back on, I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, it was just you. It was that Apple again.
Probably.
You
So that's why I was like, I'm gonna jump off and jump back in and see if that changes. So
gotta get off that iPad, son.
not mine. It's not mine.
Get off the crack. No, it's just
You're right.
but welcome back, everyone. And yeah, Thursday before the July 4th holiday. You guys got big plans for next week?
Not really.
Not really.
Go to my mom's. We'll do a bunch of fireworks on Monday. Grill
Little
out. Family's coming
little
over.
little grilling and drinking, drinking
Yeah.
and grilling.
Maybe just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little.
Just
What about you? What about you, Mal?
Well, when this show ends, Chu and I are jumping into the car and driving a few hours towards Michigan. And we're going to be staying up at the tip of the thumb on Lake Huron for the next, 5 days
Oh
camping.
wow.
So
Oh, nice.
it's his family reunion. They have it every year over 4th of July, and we'll have 60 people all gathered around a campfire,
dang.
passing beer and booze and drinking campfire food and chilling, having some fireworks, rocking it out. We're gonna have a blast.
Sounds like fun.
Oh yeah.
So, do you sing like campfire songs when you guys are all out there, or?
No. One of his cousins plays DJ, so
So you don't sing the Camptown Ladies? How's it go?
no,
Camptown Ladies, sing this song.
doodah.
Dude, yeah,
That'd be amazing if he did, though.
it would be. I can see
Yeah,
Chew.
no,
I can see Chew drinking a little and then starting to sing that.
This will be my 10th year, I think, and no one's brought a guitar yet. So I keep wondering if someone's going to show up with a guitar and people are going to sing Kumbaya or something. But mostly it's just a heck of a lot of drinking, hanging out in the water, volleyball stuff in the sand and all the things. So it's a fun time.
Yeah, no, that would be actually kind of awesome there. So, yeah, so you have a blast. So you guys driving up middle of the night tonight then for that?
We're going part of the way tonight, and we're going to get to his mom's house sometime tomorrow morning. So,
Okay,
yep.
There you
cool,
go.
cool, very nice, very
Oh
nice.
yeah.
So that'll be something. Now, will you guys have fireworks at the campsite, or?
Uh, According to law, I am required to say no.
Okay, okay. Because I'm just saying, we already got stuff from Canada sending us their smoke.
You're right.
So,
But we get visitors from the nearby towns
yeah.
for the fireworks that we do not set off.
hmm Yeah.
Speaking of the smoke from Canada, that haze today was terrible.
Oh yeah, it's been awful here.
Like driving into Louisville, I couldn't even see the skyline until I got about a mile away or 3/4 of a mile away. It was ridiculous.
Well, all outdoor festivals have been getting canceled left and right up here. It's been the breweries that I work for. No one sits outside anymore, even though it's been nice and stuff.
Yeah.
But I've had a scratchy throat for 3 days, and I'm pretty sure that's why. Other people are having headaches. I see people wearing masks all over again. It's crazy.
Yeah. Apparently,
All the conspiracy theorists are out in bunches again.
Probably.
apparently, last week was the best time for me to hit Chicago when I was up there. So it was
Yeah.
pretty good. Pretty much
It was
the whole
great.
time there was on off the lake. It was great weather as far as
Mhm.
not too hot, not too cold. But apparently, like left come back Saturday, and I guess Sunday started raining again up there and some stuff, and now the smoke's back in. So
Yeah.
yeah, and whew, good thing the difference a few days can make because right now if you're trying to fly, good luck because people are getting stuck all around the country right now
Yeah.
Yeah.
with all the air disaster again going into the weekend where They said everybody's almost back except United. I guess they're having issues, but
All right, are you
Yeah.
guys seeing it there?
yeah, I got like smoke today. Today was a hazy day, so we were like on a red alert or whatever for weather and stuff. So I didn't have to go out or anything like that. But yeah, you can definitely see it out there. And I saw like Joey from Square Table posted a picture on his YouTube channel where he was like, "Oh, it's so much haze you can actually take a picture of the sun." Had the sun in the background, and, it was just like
Yeah.
looking gray day, so to
No.
speak. So
We did have rain today, so that did seem to help some. Washed it
Yeah.
away a little bit. But I'm sure it'll be right back.
yeah, we had rain. We did have rain, I would say, yesterday. And when I was in Chicago last week, she said we had rain like every day here, like pretty heavy rain. And then I got back, it didn't rain until yesterday. So um, it's funny how some parts of the country are under drought, the other ones are getting too much rain. Like right now, it's getting pelted like in Arkansas and Texas and some of the other areas. I guess are getting stuff. Texas is getting the heat, I guess. But I thought maybe it was Colorado that was getting the rain and the hail. They're getting like a hail, like they were showing the Rockies baseball field, and it was just hail just all over the field and stuff out there. And
Yeah, we
always had to pull over.
got lucky and missed it today. It went south of us, but they were talking like golf ball sized hail or bigger that was supposed
Yeah.
to be hitting here, and it, like I said, it went below us, so we got lucky there.
Whereas
it-
up
it
here in
did
Chicago, we're
pretty good.
praying for rain. We just any rain. Our grass is all brown. It's been so long since we've had
Yeah,
like good
ours too,
rainstorms
Mel.
up here.
At least it's hurricane season, right? So we'll get some rain, get some weather.
I don't know what
No.
seems what anymore. It all just seems to happen no matter what anymore.
Yeah, if the tornadoes haven't been enough, get ready for the hurricanes to start off. So
All we need is to throw in a couple of earthquakes, and we're golden.
oh, if it is end of days, I got enough beer to drink myself through it. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
same here.
oh, but shout out to everybody in the chat. Rusty in the house. Cheers, my friend. Good to see you as well.
What's up, Rusty?
Vanessa in the house. Cheers, Vanessa.
Been
Big
missing.
Daddy, sorry I missed you in Chi-Town, sipping a Great Lakes Burner River Pale Ale. Very nice.
Daddy.
Yeah, it was tough. I know you had to work up there, and I think we were all kind of targeted maybe Friday, and then Friday we had a thing there as well that I wasn't aware of because Mal and you were going to come up, and ABC Afro Beer Chick was going to come over, and everybody. So, but it just didn't work out for that one. So, hopefully, I'll get back up there again at some point here for
Yes,
work.
please.
Yes, yeah. I know next year the same conference I went to, they're probably targeting. It's either going to be Denver, Charlotte, or it's not New Orleans. It's somewhere else. But I've been to all of them except Denver, so I kind of put my vote in for Denver because I want to go to Denver at some point. If it's not the Great American Beer Fest, at least I can go for work and get it paid for.
It might be better, actually.
Yeah, but it was cool. I got out to Hop Butcher. So got a chance to see Dave from Beer in Front when I was up there. JT, he was there with us that night. I was out there last Tuesday, him and Liz. So we had a good time.
That's
And I
awesome.
got a chance to do that. And we went to a place called the Bad Apple. Have you been to the Bad Apple, Mal?
No.
Oh, you've been to Hop Butcher.
Wait, it's a bar, right?
Yeah, it's a bar restaurant.
Oh yeah, it looks really cool. I haven't actually been there, but I've walked past it and been like, oh, I need to go there.
May have been probably one of the best hamburgers I've had in the recent
Really?
2-3 decades or so. It's really good. They were known, I guess, for their hamburgers. And you walk in and it's like 15, 16 different hamburgers you can choose from or whatever. And I got one called the Slow Burn, which was really good. Little spice, little peppers, I like to kick it up a notch when I'm enjoying a nice burger. And definitely a nice little bit of the heat, but it was so juicy, so tasty. I almost got the Jake and Elwood because, Chicago is Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
You think, I got to go Jake and Elwood, right? But I saw that
When
one.
in Rome.
Right. So like, give me the Slow Burn and had that. And I think I had one of the Metropolitan beers when I was drinking as well. And it was good. It was all good. So, yeah, but it's right catty corner, kind of where the Hop Butcher is.
Yeah.
That used to be Half Acre. So,
No, I remember seeing it
yeah. Definitely recommend checking that out if you're back up there for that. And
for sure.
we didn't get a chance to walk around some of the other spots, but it's not too far from some of the other breweries, I guess, in that little area, Dovetail and stuff like that and everything. So,
Dovetail's wonderful. Oh,
yeah. Everybody just raves about Dovetail and Metropolitan. People were talking about that as well. And
Metropolitan Maplewoods over there. Beguile is over there. Ravinia is over there. So yeah, there's a bunch of really good ones not too far away from each other.
No, I don't think Off Color is over there, right? That's
No,
another
they're
part.
a little
Okay.
they're a little further
Yeah.
off to the side there. So
Yeah.
it's a bit of a hike if you're going that way.
Yeah. So Chicago might do all right on beer. They might do okay. They might make it.
I have a few little places.
We might get by.
Might just get by, yeah.
We almost have enough for the population to drink. No, not yet. Well, it's coming. It's coming.
It's coming. It's coming, right? And I had some Garrett's popcorn as always, which is nice. So
Nice.
the conference we had, they had these little mixes of Garrett popcorn they brought over. And of course, they did it right, where you had the cheese and the caramel together, which is the best way to mix the Garrett's popcorn.
There you go.
Yeah, it was so tasty. So anybody go to Chicago, if you like popcorn, you have to get Garrett's popcorn.
You do.
Shout out to Ray. Cheers, my friend. Welcome.
Yay.
I pray.
Gilbert's in the house. Cheers.
EG.
It's only a little smoke, right? This comes from our resident lumberjack. So yeah. It's awful up here as well. Now, where are you at, Ray, as well, then where you're getting some of that smoke?
Up in Canada.
Is he in Canada as well? Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Alkanauts are in the house. Cheers, my friends. Good to see you. 4 days of rain this week. And super hazy in Canada as well. Yeah, because Alkanauts up in Canada. So we got the Canadian contingent in the house tonight. So that's awesome. Yeah, if y'all haven't checked out the Alkanauts, make sure to check out their channel here as well.
I think we are supposed counting today. I think we are supposed to have rain for the next 2 or 3 days. So
Yeah. And then Off Color and Pipeworks back-to-back same building. Oh, that's a hell of a building if they're both in the same one.
no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Put that one on the list for sure.
That's definitely on the list there. So I'm actually wearing the Drink Beer Live Hopley shirt. See that Todd baseball one.
Yes.
So which I didn't realize I would go, but the sleeves are like to your wrist basically. So they don't come all the way down. So
Yeah.
But it's comfortable. It's comfortable. So
Rod, I just got myself the coolest glass.
oh,
Just
look
so
at
you
that. Oh yeah.
That guy looks oddly familiar.
Looks familiar, doesn't he? And what did you put into that great looking glass?
This one is from Scorched Earth Brewing Company. It's a German style Helles, and it's called Hey Chicago, what do you say? Has the Ivy on there and the little, the Cubby Bear and stuff. So
Nice.
like-
baseballs.
That's cool.
Very nice.
Yep. Nice little local one.
And what are you cracking open, Todd?
I am getting ready to pop one open from Hoosier Brewing Company. It's called the Hayes Head Distortion, and it is a double dry hopped New England IPA.
Oh, I like that skull on there.
That's cool.
So, and let's see. I didn't think to look. I don't know if it has the ABV on here anywhere or not. If it does, I don't see it.
Oh, mine's a 4.7.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't know.
4.7 of yours now.
Yeah.
Look at it and see what this one says.
But the guys at Scorched Earth do Pilsners and Helles and that style so well. They just knock every single one out of the park. It's just phenomenal.
Nice. Well, while Todd's looking for that, I'm actually doing there's Todd. Todd popped out and he popped back in. That was weird.
I didn't even do anything. I thought that was you. I wasn't looking. I was like,
No. Drinking the RAR Groove City Hefeweizen.
Nice.
So this is something a little bit lighter there. 5.2 ABV.
oh, so Untapped has this at 9.5.
There you go.
I don't see it on
Oh,
the
it's
can.
starting strong.
I'll be in that neighborhood here in a little bit.
I don't know if I'll get there when we have a drive. I might stick to the
Right.
lighter ones for
Yeah,
now.
you got to be safer there. Gilbert said, at least he's not getting the ash in the air, so he's not getting too much. But you're getting the smoke, though, I believe. Ooh, Helles. I love me a good Helles Alkanaut. So, yes. It's always nice, crisp, refreshing
Oh, yeah.
style to enjoy.
And this
So
one
they
has like a residual sweetness that is very palate pleasing.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
Now, what was the name of that hop you were talking about that only handful of people are using?
Oh, Phantasm.
Okay.
It's a hop. It's an additive. It's made out of Nelson Sauvignon grape skins.
I was just reading the description on this beer and I saw that. I was thinking maybe that was it, but that wasn't it. It says Zeus hops.
Yeah.
Not sure I'm really that familiar with Zeus hops, honestly.
They're a little strong for my palate, but they're pretty
Those are
good.
probably powerful.
Well, that's what it says.
Yeah,
It says a mouthful of Indiana copper and Zeus hops using the non-boil method in brew to make this one extra juicy. So we'll see.
Nice.
I don't know about non-boil. I would think it would be hoppier than anything.
Yeah, we have about 7 cases of beer. I don't know if we're taking all of them. Probably not, but we have about 7 cases of craft beer to take with us if we want.
Yeah. Well, I think he was asking if I brought any back as well. Well, that's maybe for you on the road. If you asked if I brought any back, I didn't bring any back. But yeah,
Oh,
I mean, if you're on the road driving, you should be taking some. I mean, throw some in the trunk. Gilbert said lots of smoke. JT, what's up, gang? What's up, JT?
What's up, JT?
Great time last week, my friend. Oh, cheers, all got a bolt. All right, well, thanks for swinging by. Great to see you as always. Y'all check out the Argonauts. Smells like a meat smoker outside. Oh, with all the smoke in the air, but then they'd be upset because you'd be looking for there's no meat. It's just the smoke.
You'd be like, where's the food?
That's like having a hangover and not drinking the night before. You feel like you got robbed. So I'd be upset with it.
Oh.
But I wonder if the meat is it like maybe animals that's causing it? I would hope. I know I should have thrown that out there, but somebody had to say it, so it could have been.
Rod, who's knocking on your door? I think it's PETA. You better go check.
So smells like cooked deer out here. Smells like a little burnt elk. No, so okay, sorry. All right, well, I'll stop there. Anybody getting upset or crying over the animals? 2023 is all you can't say this, you can't say that. So unless it's fish, nobody ever worries about the fish. Like you can make any type of fish comment you want, but people don't think it. They don't think of them as being like the cuddly creatures like everything else you would see in the woods, right?
One of my coworkers referred to this as anti-COVID today, and I said, "In what way?" And they said, "Well, now before we were all trapped in our houses, so everybody wanted to be outside, get outside, get outside, get outside, and now it's like, no, don't be outside, don't be outside, don't be outside." So it's."
Somebody's probably on a conspiracy theory. It's probably the government out there. It's a trick. It's like there's somebody in the government that are starting to smoke to get people back in the house.
Right, that's
like
exactly what I was going to say.
There's really no fires. The government has a smoker out there.
Yeah.
They're trying to get people back in the mask again.
Well, he says, "Wake up, America! Wake up!"
Yeah. Well, people were still wearing masks here in Maryland and stuff going around. And I kind of one of my theories is if people are still wearing the mask, I think it's obviously if you're immunocompromised, there's a reason to wear the mask or whatever that. But I think some people just wearing the mask because it cuts down on the bad breath that people run into with others.
Yeah.
I think it's a halitosis effect. So that's just one of my theories out there.
Damn, though. Then they got to smell themselves the whole time.
Right.
Well, when we had to wear them so much, I used to work customer service, and I kind of loved that they couldn't see that I was really angry at them.
That was a good thing. You didn't have to fake any of the emotions, right? Yeah. Yeah, you could. They didn't see you gritting your teeth underneath
I'd be like
the mask.
sticking my tongue out at them, and they have no idea.
Indeed, always a pleasure as well, JT. The elk is tasty, right? And nature's cooking it for you right now. So that might be the smell in the air. What?
Oh, the poor little elk babies and stuff. Look at you. What are you doing?
Although I think that would probably be bad because they haven't been skinned, so it might be like burning fur too. I'm just going saying,
No, I that noise was me remembering the smell of burning hair. That's a horrible
see,
scent.
Oh,
see,
Oh,
that's what I
God.
mean. So
nightmares.
it's not good. Bill in the house, beer house. Cheers, my friend. Good to see you as well. Happy Thursday to you. As always, just kicking a little bit of the fun here. But yeah, it's I thought the smoke I didn't heard anything about the fires over the last couple weeks. I thought the smoke was dying down, but apparently not. It's still coming in. So we're still dealing
That's
with
what I
it.
said. I hadn't heard anything about it in weeks. Like,
Yeah.
I saw it this morning on the news, and they were showing there was like 130 some odd fires in different places. I don't remember what they said now, but it was an unreal number.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, as long as this thing's been going on, is there still any greenery left up there?
Yeah, right. But it's all part of this wooded area stuff. So we probably won't even see. Cause I don't know how deep it is into the woods where it's at, and I believe it ever fires in Alberta as well, in the other part of the country. So
You're right. Yeah.
yeah,
The way they showed on the map this morning, it looked like it was pretty much from border to border.
yeah. Well, I know. I guess when did it first happen? Like 3-4 weeks ago or whatever, like that, and everything. And they were showing that you could see it from the sky, like satellite footage. You could see the smoke and stuff when they were sharing stuff there. So that's if we believe it's actually happening. It's not a conspiracy theory. Still debating if we did land on the moon.
If the Earth's flat or not.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. And hopefully you're going to, I saw a couple of the stuff you were doing in the video. So I guess you were kind of coming out of something you were going through as well. But appreciate you. Even more fires in Ontario. Oh, so more in Ontario than there are in Alberta. Wow. Bill said hello to Mallory, Todd. So yeah. But yeah, so that's kind of interesting. Before I slide over to some of the beer news, what was I going to say? I was going to say, was kind of interesting. I was looking at something the other day that someone had posted. And I'd been mistaken on my part. So they were showing where Modelo was actually over Bud Light now, like how everything. And I was thinking it was still AB and Bev that had them, but I didn't realize in the States, maybe because of some type of law or how we have it set up, Modelo was owned by Constellation.
Yeah.
And not AB and Bev. Everywhere else outside the States, AB and Bev owns Modelo. So I was thinking, well, they're still doing okay, but not here in the States. So in the Bud Light line here, they've definitely taken a loss there. But as I'll mention here in the news in a bit, they're just taking so much of a dumpster fire with that company right now. It's just like earlier this week, the CEO didn't help himself. I don't know if you guys have heard about that when he went on CBS Morning News or like that and everything. And now he's got both sides just pissed off at him, because he just can't win. It's like, don't even go out there and say anything. Just like leave it alone. It's like
that's what we said a couple of weeks ago. It's like, just shut your mouth and just let it
go, and something else will come up that's newsworthy, and people will stop paying attention.
It's like when you were. Well, I go back like when you were a kid and you broke something. You think back to the old Brady Bunch episode when the ball comes down the steps and it breaks to the lamp or whatever, and they got to glue it back together. It's like, just don't touch it. Just, of course, somebody touches it and it falls back apart, but it's like, just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. I know you're looking at it, you're trying to wonder if it's working or not. Don't even mess with it. And then somebody else touches it, then you're like Tommy Boy, and you're like, Richard, what did you do? And then you put it on the other person. So just leave it alone. Like, just stop coming out there because you're making yourself worse and worse. And it's just, at this point, it's just watching just them go down in flames at just trying to figure out what they're doing. So
that's where the smoke's coming from. They're going down in flames.
But it's even more in Ontario. I've had that one. Modelo, pretty darn good beer. Yeah, actually, the only time I drink Modelo, I think, is when I'm at Chipotle, because you can get beer at Chipotle, and I usually get that if I'm there in the store. They used to actually have, I don't know if they still all do it, but they used to have margaritas at Chipotle, and they used to make some of the best margaritas, I thought, when you went, versus even going to some of the bars. And then we hired more Americans, and they got worse. It's like, what happened to all the Mexican people? The margaritas were so much better when they were here. I miss one of my Mexican restaurants. I mean, I'm talking about authentic Mexican restaurant, like when I was in Kentucky. Yeah, because you can think of authentic Mexican when you think Kentucky, right? But we did have one that was authentically Mexican, pretty much. Workers, and it was like, it was like you get something to drink, and we actually got to know them over point. But it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a Jack and Coke or something with dinner or whatever. And it's like most places you go to get the little glass with the Jack and like tall glass, like this much Jack, like tall glass, this much Jack, splash of Coke. My man. So I missed that little restaurant there because they used to set us up nicely. So
I like Modelo for micheladas. It's my favorite.
have you done the Bud Light Michelada? I think Bud Light has one.
The canned ones.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan. Chu likes them,
Yeah.
but I don't know. The flavors don't really work for me. I like making them myself, like how I do Bloody Marys. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So. Chu has a habit of throwing a shot of vodka into his micheladas. I'm like, that's it's two different drinks in one, and he's like, tastes good though. Okay.
She's like, nobody's gonna tell Chu what to do.
Can you all see that field behind me very well?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually kind of vibrant right now.
How yellow that is, I know.
Yeah.
I think it's
Somebody would think that's like a green screen behind you or something.
I think it's soybeans, I believe is what they grew this year.
Yeah.
It's like every other year, every 2 years they do a corn. And then 1 year they do wheat and 1 year they do soybeans. I'm not 100% sure what it is.
It's Todd starring in Little House on the Prairie. So.
I know, man. It looks like the whole thing's on. This is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. The way the sun's hitting it, the smoke, maybe. I'm not really sure what's
You'll see
going
Laura Ingalls come running through the field here in a second.
on. You're right.
You'll see Sound of Music out there swinging around with a picnic basket.
Yep.
It's definitely the sun too, because that's awful orange looking.
It's a pretty cool. I mean, it looks like a pretty cool shot right there. Like,
The way it's
Yeah, it does.
setting, yeah. This is kind of what we liked about picking this spot for the house was the view out back that we get.
BC to Quebec wildfire. So all through, wow. Dello, huge in Chicago.
Yeah.
It's huge in a lot of places, though. I mean, it's a nice, easy drinking lager, and that's the one thing. And I always hate to say the Mexican style lagers because nobody really knows what the Mexican style lager is because it's not really identified. I mean, Mexican style lager is no more than an American adjunct lager because Mexico is still in America, South America, but it's kind of like people put on there. I think you get the feel because with some of the lagers that they actually produce out of there, you get that lime on it, right? So that kind of gives it's a Mexican style lager because it's got the lime flavor, right? That's the difference, I guess. So, but Modelo is pretty decent at one. If you wanted to have a macro type beer, you could do a lot worse than the Modelo. I'm not a fan of Pacifico as much.
Yeah, Pacifico didn't sit as pretty for me for some reason.
Yeah. Ever tried Superior beer? I don't think I have. I have to look at my handy dandy Untapped to see if I've ever checked it in.
Handy dandy.
Which I was actually putting stuff in earlier this week that I didn't get a chance to mark when I was in Chicago because we were out doing stuff, and I was like, oh, I'll just check it in later or whatever. Which was actually nice to be out drinking and just enjoying and not getting into that checking in type thing. So sometimes you just enjoy the moment. No, I have not had Superior beer. Is it superior?
I mean, I should hope so. Otherwise, it's flagrant false advertising.
Right. Gilbert's got a couple of the Modelos tonight in Flow. Nice. Chipotle food is great. Yeah, I don't go as much as I used to. Chipotle used to be owned by McDonald's back in the day.
I can honestly say I have never had Chipotle.
Never? Ever?
Nope. Well, I never had one close to us until, I don't know, within the last couple months. Now there's one within driving distance, but that's
it's pretty decent, I think.
It's actually closer to her brother's house, but it's still only 10-minute drive, 15-minute drive for us. But
when you get that Wawa there, though?
I think it's next year.
Oh, is that far out? I thought it was early.
I mean, unless it's at the end of this year, but I think it's I think it's still a little ways out yet, but I could be wrong on that. Not really sure.
You get that Wawa in. Yeah.
Run
they
that
were
fat
rolling.
stuff.
Yeah. You'll be hitting that for a little bit of time.
Shannon said, "Why are you so excited about gas station coming in?" I was like, "Because I've heard so many good things about their subs and stuff. I want to get it."
I tested EB at Erie earlier this week or whatever. We were on Warzone, and I was like, "Yeah, I was going to hit Wawa, but I didn't get a chance to get over there today." And EB's like, "You cannot effing say Bo." It's like, yeah, it still stings a little bit for them because they have Wawa. They know. I said, "Well, Todd's about to get a Wawa."
Can't wait.
You never know; they might get down to South Carolina at some point. Didi's in North Carolina. He knows about Wawa, so his daughter brings him Wawa when she comes down.
I'm hoping my mom was right because she said she thought there was one going in pretty close to us, but I haven't heard that, so I don't.
Yeah.
I think she might have misunderstood.
Trez in the house. Cheers,
Trez.
homies. Great to see you, my friend. Happy Thursday to you. A lot of my Polish friends drink Modelo Scoop. Really? Okay. I wonder what the tie is there. I mean, outside just liking that beer or whatever, because I've had Polish beers. And they have some pretty decent Polish beers. In fact, over in Poland, I haven't been to Poland, but from watching some of the stuff over there, they got a pretty big craft beer scene now that's taking place over there. NET in the house. What is up, my friend? Cheers. Y'all don't know NDT, make sure you check him out down in Tennessee. He's been putting out some good footage from some of the vacation stuff they've been hitting around the different spots. He's probably not too far from where you go down there in Nashville, Todd, actually. But they go to Gatlinburg and different spots and stuff too. And
okay, yeah.
Great little channel, great little tourism that he does around the state and everything.
Who was it that what's in close to Knoxville? Who was it that was on here that used to chime in and said he lives?
Oh, that was
do you remember?
I can't remember now, but he was down outside of
he was pretty close to where her family lives.
Yeah. Can't remember who that is right now, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't either offhand now.
Aubrey's in the house. Cheers. He likes Pacifico, not Ducati. I like Ducati though. I had Ducati when we went to Cancun.
I like Dos Equis.
Dos Equis I like. I like Dos Equis.
Their amber is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's a good amber. I don't usually fruit beer, but if I do fruit beer, it's usually one of the Mexican lagers with lime. I just don't mind if that's actually in there. But
yeah.
And I almost feel like when you get some of those type of lagers, you have a little bit of a feel, at least to me, kind of like a Goza, where you have a little bit of a salinity, which I really like as well.
Yeah.
Which just adds a nice little back into it.
I like that too.
Spirit's current Mexican beer chant with my Mexican beer. Oh, okay. I don't think I've seen it around here, so I don't know if you have distribution for it, but I'll have to keep an eye out.
Superior.
I should do a show on Mexican beer lot drinks, like a Mexican beer battle. Drinking right. I am drinking right now the Groove City Hefeweizen from RAR. Little Hefeweizen action before I jump into a little Sierra Nevada Optimum. Once had a Tecate in Tecate. I didn't know it was a place, so there you go.
That's fun.
I guess Tecate, Mexico. Let's see here. And when we jump over, we'll go ahead and jump into a little bit of the beer news, I guess, while we got a little time here. I try to go high tech when I can, So this is kind of interesting. So Stone Brewing is preparing to release locally brewed Sapporo beer. Now, some people may not identify out there now, realizing that technically Stone isn't recognized as a craft beer now because Sapporo owns Stone as a macro. But they set up to actually get the recipe to Stone, which they tweaked and worked at it to actually start brewing Sapporo here in the States. So kind of interesting to see how it turns out. So if you do get some of the Stone stuff, you can definitely check it out. Not that you shouldn't drink Stone because they're not technically craft, I guess now, but they're going to be doing a Sapporo type beer out of their brewery out in California. So,
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see.
yeah. So. And you have that with other breweries around the world that do stuff like they brew in other countries because obviously they're bringing over here. You're looking at time and stuff like that and everything. So the big thing you run into is getting the right balance in the water, the pH, all that kind of stuff. I think. 4th of July week. Well, it's kind of so weird because it's on a Tuesday, right? But we're heading into the technically kind of toward the 4th of July weekend. Take a break on Monday, whatever. I don't know if you're going to work, if you're not going to work, but they do talk about the cost of beer seems to continue to rise. So you may be paying a little bit more out there if you haven't picked up any beer as of yet. Just don't be too sticker shock if you see some prices are up there. Another good reason why, if you have a beer cellar you created, you can kind of wait these things out. So I don't have to buy any beer because I have so much beer that's available now. As things do come up in these little peaks, I can just go ahead and let it go unless there's something I really want. So if
I was
you're
going to say, what's the actuality of that actually happening?
yeah, right. So if you do our shopping, don't be surprised with a little bit higher, but there are deals out there. I found deals myself when I went out there last time. So just never know. You got to look around for them. And mentioning Bud Light earlier, so Anheuser-Busch, they're trying to get out of being in that backlash now, and they're going to a whole people focus campaign. I don't know if you started seeing any of the advertising yet, but it's about people that work kind of in Budweiser and stuff like that. They're trying to share like some of the delivery drivers and the warehouse workers, all kind of stuff. They're trying, hey, we're people too. We're people too, right? We have feelings. And then what did the CEO did? He did this week. He actually was trying to shame people that were boycotting, right? So he's like, you should be actually worried about the people that work for the company because if we don't have any sales, they won't have any job titles. So you try to basically shame the people that are boycotting you from expressing it. Just like, dude, just shut up and just sit there. Like you possibly can't have a job that much longer the way things are going right now. But
yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. And then I guess when he went on CBS Morning News this week, they were talking about the whole Dylan situation and whatever he said there, because I didn't watch it, but I was just reading some pieces here and there, pissed off both sides. I guess trying to back away from it. So now he pissed off the LGBTQ community, plus he pissed off the people that were anti, and they're both coming at him right now. And it's just like, why did you even set up to come on the show? Like you were not prepared whatsoever from everything I've seen about it. And it's just like, yeah, he's helping himself out the door at this point.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. I mean, no one looks very kindly on him right now, so.
Mm-mm. But if you are feeling like you want some Bud Light, you can still get it at a discount because right now they're pretty much giving it away free. As for the 4th of July weekend, as they struggle to reclaim market, they get a rebate of like $15, I think, on a 12-pack or something. So depending where you're at.
Before, haven't they? Isn't that a thing that they used to do?
They did it before after it happened, but now they're stretching it out through July 4th. They're trying to win people back.
Oh.
So they gave it, at one point, they gave it to all the distributors for free case, and their families. Anybody that had a family member that worked at a distributor got a free case of Bud.
Especially the ones under 21.
Especially right. And so now they're bringing it to the consumer as well. Like, hey, we'll give you a discount if you would just give us a shot. Come back and get it. Come give us, like, you're not making any money off of it.
So do you buy it and then send your receipt in and they reimburse you? Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, I think you can send it in or you go online with the QR code like that and everything, and I'll send you the $15 back. But I'm like, so you're not really still not getting anything off of it. You're just trying to get people to pick up.
That must be a nightmare for accounting.
It must be.
Oh my God.
No kidding.
But I'm like, you can still be mad at him and get a free beer out if you want to while you're still mad at him as well. So
you're right. Kid Rock's at the front of the line just buying cases upon cases, getting all that money back.
Yeah, you can take him out. You can get some, take it out back and shoot it if you want. It
ain't cost anything, so why not?
It's like at this point, it's just like why? Just go ahead and. Even at this point, it's just like watching a wreck on the highway, and you're just watching them come in and just try to do what they can to save whoever.
Yeah. Silence would have been bliss for that one for sure.
Well, didn't they do like a commercial that was like had a construction worker, I drink Bud Light, and like a biker, I drink Bud Light, and like but they were like trying to assert their manliness for a little bit there too. Didn't they pull that one as well after all this?
Did they? They
I
may
saw that
have.
commercial. So yeah, they are doing some fun
They're seriously
things.
throwing darts right now, just trying anything they can to get people to actually do something. And then I mentioned about the price going up, but the other thing is, it actually shows signs of strength now that beer sales are increasing here this June. So there's actually it's called the BPI, Beer Purchasing Index, where they actually track how beer sales and stuff are going. And they do see a surge of beer coming back. And they look at beer, they look at seltzers, they look at flavored malt beverages, all different things. And beer does show a good impact that it's starting to get bought again by people. So the economy has been getting better. So people have more dollars. Maybe they can flow out there now, and they're starting to see that actually take place. So in that sign, it's a good sign that people are buying again. So, but really wasn't that much I had on the beer news. I know, Mal, you said you had a couple things you thought.
Yeah. One of the stories, it's a little old. It was November 2022, but I just found out about it and it made me chuckle. And you two probably will not care at all, but Coors Light actually released a color-changing nail polish.
Oh, remember that one?
It
Yes,
changes
yes.
colors the way their cans do, and I thought it was good, but it like matches the colors on the cans and stuff, and it made me chuckle. And I just wanted to tell people that there's color-changing nail polish from Coors, so your fingernails can match your can.
And did they change when you got too cold? Is that what it was? Or if you
I
got
don't
cold, is I
remember
think.
the exact what the color changing was. I thought it was light, actually.
Oh, okay.
No, it goes from gray to blue when the temperature drops. So
With the temperature,
no.
okay, yeah.
But just I thought it was funny that they came out with a nail polish. Because I don't know, it just sounded very strange to me, and I wanted to share.
Why did they come out with like I don't know if you had them when you were kids, but like when you were kids, like you would see mood rings.
Oh yeah,
I feel like that'd have been so much better for Coors Light to come out with a mood ring or something like that and everything. The nail polish.
Didn't that kind of make a comeback a few years ago? A little bit.
Did it? It may have.
I feel like it might have just for a brief time. All right, I did see, which isn't really beer news for anybody outside of probably you and I that's watching. I saw that Street Side is collabing with a brewery here, Atrium.
Oh.
Doing a beer for the 4th of July. They're supposed to be out for the 4th of July.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Cincinnati Brewery and a Louisville Brewery here, so.
Nice.
Street Side's a good brewery, so I do miss them.
And Atrium does some really good stuff here, too. They're probably one of the top 2 or 3 in the area, I think, in my opinion.
And then the last story I had was, so I don't know how many folks here are NASCAR fans, but Chicago is about to have a NASCAR race in the city.
Yes.
Kind of a big deal. Like some of my coworkers are actually going to work that too this weekend and stuff. Like it's kind of fun, but
is this the first time you've had a NASCAR race there, by the way?
Yes. Yeah. At least to my knowledge. I mean, if it happened before, it was a long time ago. So, but apparently, the price of beer for the event is like going viral right now. So, with all of this going off, let's see, cars take off. I gotta find where it was, of course. Here we go. A 6-pack of Busch Light or Michelob Ultra will run you $63.
Woo!
Whoa. You say a 6-pack?
63 bones.
$10 per can. Are these tall boys? Or are these regular 12-ounce?
I think they're regular 12-ounce, and that's about 5 times the price of a 12-pack of cans outside of the event. This is in the event, like within the space of the event. If you just want a single beer, it's only going to be $10.50, or about the price of one 12-pack of that beer.
Like a regular 12-ounce can is $10. Not like a 28-ounce, like if you're at the ballpark or something. It's just 12.
It's $10.50 a can for the beer.
Damn, NASCAR!
I'm sneaking something in for sure, man.
We're drinking at the gate. We're not even going in yet. We're just getting hammered.
Right.
And it's supposed to be crazy hot too. And this little article also mentioned that it's only $4 for a bottle of water, though.
Oh my
$4.
gosh.
$4 for a bottle of water and $10.50 for a can.
I mean, Chicago's already one of those cities that are kind of always like on tilt, like you never know when something might pop off. I could just see somebody knocks over somebody's beer, it's on.
Oh yeah,
$10 a beer.
yeah.
Oh.
Oh man, yeah, you're gonna see
Which is why I will be avoiding the
WrestleMania gonna
city at
break
all
out.
costs. Yes. Heck, I'm leaving the state. I'm like, nope, I'm out.
We got
I
a
don't
ride
blame
over at the raceway. What happened? Beers got knocked over and then shit just went crazy.
I mean, if you're gonna pay $10 a beer, at least make it something better than
Yeah.
$10 for a
Come on.
Bush. For Bush.
At least
I mean, maybe if it was like the Tall Boy of the Goose Island or something, it would be fine. But nope.
Well, that's what I'm
Like,
thinking. Like if you're at the baseball game, if you're at Wrigley, or if you're a Soldier, you're
Yeah.
probably paying that, but you're probably getting like a 24-ounce thing or
Yeah,
something
you
like
get
that.
the big
Yeah.
cans, and it's
Yeah.
fine. Like, I mean, you know where the money's going, and you're happy that the place is there, so you kind of forgive it. But this
Yeah.
is like a one-time deal with the NASCAR being here, and all of a sudden,
I'm
they're-
just wondering if they're figuring, well, we're going to Chicago where they got the dollars. Because you
Yeah.
ain't pulling that off down in North Carolina. You ain't pulling that off and down in South Carolina. You're not pulling that off in Alabama. But Illinois, we're going to try to see if we can get some more money out of these city slickers.
maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I would be like,
Yeah.
yeah, there's no way. Yeah, I'm definitely sneaking in or I'm drinking before I walk in. But yeah.
Well, Christ, I'm leaving the state to get away from this.
Yeah.
that's probably a good move.
Yeah, I just have to
$4.
drive.
$4
I have to drive way around the city though, because like we're leaving when people are all coming in, so we have to be.
I don't even know
be aware.
where is the track at there in Chicago.
It's right downtown. It's like
Did they cut out something custom from the streets or something, or is it like
no, it's
it's
on
actual
the-
just a
it's on the
track?
streets. It goes past the Museum of Science and Industry. It's like right downtown. It's crazy.
So they're going to be racing in the streets.
I think so. Yeah, that's what it seems like. The way everyone's talking.
So I was staying off of Wacker, so it's probably not that far from where that is, because that's like towards the Navy Pier or something. So
Yeah, it's close to that.
yeah,
I mean, it's just crazy. It's right by Millennium Park and all that. Like,
yeah.
it's right in town.
Which I didn't realize. I saw a picture from last week. So there was one night there they do fireworks out in the lake, I guess, or maybe they do them like every night or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And I ended up not. We were on a boat at the time. We went into the river, and then we actually went out into the lake as well. But I guess people can park on Lakeshore Drive and watch the fire. Like, I've noticed like people pull over on Lakeshore Drive, and like people are like sticking out in traffic. Like, I'm not. Is there wrecks there sometimes? Like people just, or is everybody kind of just used to it? Like you can just pull over and. It's not like a parking space. It's just like people pull to the emergencies lane and just stop to watch the fireworks. That's a Chicago thing, right? Like just
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, it happens.
yeah, yeah,
So, yeah. But the fireworks are pretty.
yeah. I mean, I heard the fireworks, but we were downstairs on the boat drinking. It was like, drink, go watch fireworks. Drink, go watch. Yeah, I'll sit here and drink.
So
You're right.
I'm including a link in the private chat for a picture of the actual layout of the race. So it's on Disable Lakeshore Drive. But
Oh, okay. I mean,
in the picture, you can see where the tall buildings are there, but it's like 2 blocks back from the water. That's a whole park area. But yeah, it's right downtown on streets in a weird shape.
yeah, it is. Looking at it here, they are literally driving through the streets for this, and part of it is Lakeshore Drive.
Yep. Which, I mean, Lakeshore Drive is like, that's the road you always hear on the traffic radio here. Like, that's the one that's always bad.
Let's see.
So,
I'll
they're
pull it up
closing it.
so people can see
It'll
it
be
here.
exceptionally bad that day.
Here we go. Yeah,
Just
so
wanna
this is
see
this is the track where it'll be NASCAR taking place. I might actually watch a little bit out on TV just to kind of see how it actually goes.
Yeah. But yeah, it's right downtown, and I'm just waiting to see if some overeager Chicago cop goes to pull over one of these
Oh yeah,
cars.
South Michigan right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I figure if you work in police office buildings, you go to the office, you can watch from up in your floor if you're in one of these high rises.
Yeah, you can watch the race from your work.
And you get drinks for a lot less than $60 a 6-pack, that's for sure.
Heck yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy there. That's pretty cool though that Chicago's going to have that. That's interesting. Yeah, is that like Sunday night maybe or Sunday afternoon? Do you know?
I don't know the exact time
okay.
for it. Let's see.
Let me check that out.
I'm afraid to click a link because I'm afraid it'll pop up a video that'll start playing and mess with your audio. It does say it's rain or shine.
Oh, yeah, we're going to do this regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Rain, shine, or smoke, we're racing.
But yeah, it'll be passing right by the Millennium Fountain, which is the fountain you see at the beginning of Married with Children.
Yeah. Oh,
It'll be passing
yeah.
right by the Art Institute there. So I see where I can buy tickets, but it doesn't say the date. What is wrong with these people?
Where is the egg at? The egg is on there, right, too. Like, it's at that park.
Egg?
Is it the egg? The silver egg or whatever? What do you call it?
It's a
The bean. It looks like
It's a
an
jelly
egg.
bean.
I guess if you want to say it's a jelly bean, I don't know. It reminds me of an egg.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about. The bean.
Yeah. The all chrome.
That's like the Millennium Park or whatever, right? That's
Yeah,
like on the
Millennium
map
Park,
there too.
So
Yeah.
it'll be close to that too.
Yeah. The bean. Say the bean, it makes me just think of something about Mary again. It's just like
How'd you get the bean above the Franks?
Aubrey's actually knocking out a Voodoo Ranger. Very nice. Good series from New Belgium. Just cheers to all. Championship battle Beerhound had was Takati versus Superior with Superior edging Takati out. Okay. Takati's just across the border, East San Diego, but west of Tijuana, the brewery and the ballpark dominate the town. San Diego's that's one of those pretty cities too that we have here.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go there. I've not been to California before, but San Diego I'd love to see.
It's like, you would go to San Diego? Do I? I love San Diego.
My grandpa and uncle actually used to live in San Diego. We went out there when I was younger. It was awesome when I remember.
Yeah, you
wasn't any drinking then, but I'd love to go back and try it all now, though.
I like to go. One city I always was kind of curious about going to just to visit, and it was like there was an old movie back in the 80s. It was Tom Cruise and I forget who the other actors were in it, but they were like coming to age boy type thing, and they went to Tijuana, and I was like, I'd be kind of interested. I would have been interested back then to go to Tijuana. I mean, I'd probably go if I was in Mexico now just to check it out, to see it, but that was like kind of one of those places, Tijuana, and you get the Spanish Fly, and you do this, and that is just like, when you were like a teenager, you're like, oh, that place is so cool. I'd love to go to Tijuana.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Thornberry Craft County Blue Mountain Light Lager for me tonight. Oh, okay. And I think Thornberry, I'm trying to think where that's actually at there. I want to think it's like Canada, but I might be wrong. I feel like that would be Canada. Thornberry Brewery. No, England. Thornbridge? Is that right? Thornberry Craft? Nope. Wrong one.
Thornberry Village.
So many breweries. Is it Thornberry Village?
Well, that one's says Thornberry in Canada, or Thornberry Tap House is in
Craft.
Australia.
I always like finding out about new breweries. Yeah, so Blue Mountain Light Lager It's Thornbury Village Cider House, and it is Canada, Thornbury, Ontario. I just felt like Thornbury just sounded Canadian to me for whatever
You are correct, sir.
reason. So Harley Davidson, a Budweiser cans. What's up with that? Well, actually, I just saw another news story I didn't think about earlier. Miller Lite, they got a Luke Combs edition coming out, or they have it out there. So I guess Luke Combs has a song, I believe, about beer, but they have a thing that he teamed up with Miller Lite as well. But Harley Davidson on Budweiser, probably a little team up there, which are funny because Budweiser basically now is considered a Belgian company with AB InBev, and Harley Davidson is actually outside the States now too. It's like two names that were American brand for so long that actually aren't American companies anymore, but they still sell to the Americans. So that's what happens when you go global.
Stupid Americans.
I buy beer almost every day. Yeah. Now I got stuff. I stock up, but I don't drink beer every day. So
Oh, I do.
yeah. You're at a brewery though too, so yeah.
Yeah, it helps working at breweries for sure.
Feel
'Cause
that
when
would
I
be hard
when I open up the bar, I got to test the taps. I
Well,
mean,
yeah.
what if something's wrong with the keg?
I mean, nothing wrong with a beer a day for sure. It's just I don't usually drink that as much now, just because I try to find a little bit of moderation. Nail polish is kind of cool. LOL beer on set. Let me see you rocking that nail polish on your channel, Hounds. Hypercolor shirts were a thing. Oh, that could be something
shirts.
too. Yeah.
I remember those.
Those ones that change, the ones that change color with the heat or something, wasn't it?
But then you accidentally put it in the dryer and it's destroyed forever. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I remember those.
Speaking from experience, it sounds like.
It was my older sister. She put hers in the dryer and it got destroyed, and she was really angry because they were not cheap.
She's like, don't. By the way, if you're wondering, I did crack another beer. I'm drinking Sierra Nevada Optimum Triple
Nice.
IPA. This 2023 edition comes in at,
I haven't seen that one.
I think it's 10% ABV. Yes, 10%. So I didn't do a review on this one on the channel because I've done a review of this in the past, but it doesn't come out every year. So if you happen to see it, you're going to get it. I don't know how much more is still out there right now because it's been out for like a month or two, I think. In fact, this was packaged 4/7. So but a nice triple like this can last. Still get a nice feel out of it.
We're going on 3 months.
Yeah. I think the dog wants a beer. LOL Beer House said. Yeah, the dog was barking when Todd was there doing it. Yeah. Which, as a reminder, don't ever give your dog beer because the hops can actually mess up their stomachs and stuff. So just as a thing out there. I see a lot of dogs at breweries and stuff, and they usually have dog treats and stuff there, but yeah.
Well, I remember as a little bitty kid, we used to go to my uncle's house for Christmas. They would do Christmas Eve at their house.
Yeah.
And him and my dad would pour beer in the dog bowl. And the dog would just suck it up, and then, I don't know, maybe a beer or two in, and he'd be going sideways and into walls. I just remember laughing. Didn't really think about what was happening. I just thought it was the next thing.
Are we trying to get PETA called on us tonight?
I know, right?
I'm pretty sure a lot of people did that, and those beers weren't overly hopped.
No, those were more like just the regular lagers. But
it's like a Miller Lite or Bud Light or something. I don't know what they were drinking then,
but the hops can definitely tear up the inside.
It was a macro of some sort for sure.
Yeah. NASCAR fans are insane as well. So that's another one. You talk about the whole Bud Light thing. There's just like somebody does something and it's like they drive the Tide car. I'm not buying Tide again because so and so did. Just they're off the handle.
Yeah.
So they'll go on their little things as well.
Bitching to be bitching.
Yeah, $63. Oh, I can quit for a few hours, right?
Yeah.
No doubt.
That's when you call pre-game planning. Hit it ahead of time. Captured audience page. Oh, they get people that'll pay it up there. They'll bitch about it, but they'll be like, all right, well, Yeah. So
Well, I gotta have a
The-
beer. NASCAR's on.
you only live once, and it is history. First time ever NASCAR in Chicago. I was there.
That's when I'd be like, "Come on, Shannon, you're going to the race with me."
Mm,
But while you're at it, sneak some shit up underneath your boots and go with it too. We've done that at football games. Never.
Yeah.
Listened
Yeah, I'm
that
willing
was
to
even my
bet
dude.
that-
That was her. She's like, "We're gonna, yeah, okay."
You're gonna really accessorize.
No doubt.
Booby beer. NASCAR race is not popular. It's their first ever street race, at least since their bootlegger days. Why here? Why now? The cheapest ticket is $270. Oh wow.
Well, if you have enough to buy the ticket, I guess you have enough to buy the beer.
Are you right? No kidding.
I don't know if you have enough to do anything nowadays. It's a smart thing because those people had enough money to go in the sub, and not to get off the sidetrack of that, but I'm like, if I got into a sub for $250,000 and I saw the guy had a game controller to steer the ship,
Yeah.
I'm getting back out. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
There was some pictures.
Like, literally, you have a $25 controller that's supposed to steer this sub. Yeah,
No doubt.
I'm gonna need a refund. I'm out. Yeah. But when some people have money, they just go out and do that kind of stuff. So
I mean, when you're a billionaire, I guess $250,000 is like us pulling a $10 bill out of a wallet. You know, I mean, like,
yeah, I bet Richard Branson wouldn't have got in the sub.
you're right, probably. Not.
Richard Branson already has his own fleet of subs, and he trusts those
Yeah,
more than others. I think.
They're not using Logitech controllers.
You know, I was actually friends.
hit the turbo
one-
button.
I was actually friends with one of Richard Branson's submarine drivers for a
Oh,
while.
very nice.
Yeah, an Australian lady. She was also Coast Guard and stuff, but she was so amazing. Just fantastic woman, scuba instructor, all this stuff. But
Nice.
yeah,
I feel like Richard Branson would be one of the cool billionaires if you had to hang out with one.
he's
Yeah.
amazing. He's so
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, no! When I lived in the Caribbean, he had the island next to ours. That was
Mhm.
his island, and our little school, tiny little school. We did an event called Jazz on the Hill. We would have jazz artists come in to perform on this hill behind our school, and every single year he would spend $5,000 and buy out a little table and bring some of his friends. And it started raining during the last act, and he was out there, no shoes, jumping in the rain, dancing to this jazz music. He's such an amazing human being. I was
Yeah.
the MC for that one, so I saw him out there just having a blast. He is so nice. And after the hurricane came through and really hit the British Virgin Islands really hard, he spent so much money helping them rebuild.
Yeah.
He's such an amazing human being. I
Yeah.
just think he's wonderful. He didn't forget that fun has to happen too, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. You look at some of his videos when he does stuff. He does some pretty cool stuff down there and everything.
He
like that.
really
It's like,
does.
yeah. Sounds like regular event pricing up here. Not for $60 for a 6-pack. I don't know any regular place, so that sounds right. But,
No
but then again, Ray, I think you're in Canada, so
Yeah.
I know you guys get screwed on beer prices as it is.
Yeah.
From all my Canadian friends up there, so I can see why you would have that there. So yeah. Imagine what it would cost for you if it's $60 for a 6-pack here. What would that be in Canadian dollars? Oh my god! Yeah.
For tall boy.
Yeah, 11. Yeah. They get hit hard in that kind of stuff. I don't know. That's for the free healthcare, probably.
You're right. You gotta make it up somehow.
Oh,
On stadium 20 for a tall boy craft, but you're getting a tall boy. You're not
And
getting
it's
like
craft.
the 12 ounce, and it's craft, right? So
Yeah.
oh.
you expect to pay up when you go to events like that, but then there's paying way too much up for a Busch. $60 for a
Yeah.
6-pack. I can't even say that straight. If somebody came to my line and I was the cashier and they're like, "Can I get a 6-pack of the Busch?" And I'm like, I couldn't even say $60 without laughing. I don't think. Like,
I know, right?
Yeah, here's your 6-pack. That'll be $63 plus tax.
yeah, I'd be like, I don't think I could do. I just like,
I couldn't even imagine what my dad would say if he was doing it. 'Cause I remember 15 years ago when the Yankees first came to Cincinnati, and he'd been a big Yankees fan.
yeah,
And we come up just before we went to our seats. There was 4 of me, one of my best friends, my brother, and my dad went. And he's like, "Here, I'll get this beer." 4 beers. It was like $20. And my dad looked up like, I didn't want how did I 4 beers. And this is like, we're talking about 15 years ago. It was only $20 then. But it was like,
Yeah.
anybody had a conniption then? I was like, good Lord. Can you imagine paying $60 for a 6-pack?
Yeah.
He'd be going nuts. Like, no.
It's always funny when you get caught by surprise on stuff. It's kind of like, did I expect to do that? But then it always depends where you're at. Like we were in Chicago last week. We went out to one of the events. We went over to one of the rooftop bars, whatever like that and everything. Like Jack and Coke. And like, all right, go down and it's like, put a 20 down or whatever. And they give you about like $4. So like 16 for a Jack and Coke? Like that's kind of, but you're in Chicago and you're like, okay, well, you just go with it, right?
Yeah.
That's when I miss my old Mexican restaurant because I got a nice tall Jack with a little Coke and it'd been like $5.
Well, it's so funny. I'm in the suburbs. I'm not in the city, but when I go visit my father, he's 2 hours northwest of here,
Mhm.
middle Illinois, cornfields, nothing else, cows. That's it. But he goes to the bar and they have a happy hour where all the taps are $2.50, and they have like Lagunitas and Guinness and stuff on there, and it's $2.50. I'm like, dude, I pay like $10 a glass here.
No kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's not fair. I can't come out there just to drink. So
Well, it's like one of the places I had in Kentucky I told Todd about before. This place called, it was Buffalo Bob's. You would get like a 24 ounce, and Trez is here, so he's Cincinnati, and Todd knows Rhinegeist, like their Rhinegeist Truth IPA or whatever, and it'd be like $4 for a 24 ounce pour of it. And it's just like, are you kidding me? And then any other craft beers that we get, they'd be like just regular like tap prices. And it's like, I'm not going to correct it. Like, oh, why you're giving it to me in a 24 ounce mug when it should be served in this glass? But you know what? I'm not going to complain because you're giving me such a great deal. I'm going to go ahead and deal with it and just be okay.
Now, there is a pizza place down the street that Shannon and I went to a couple weeks or a month ago, and they had double two-hearted IPA on tap for, it was like $4 for maybe a 16-ounce one.
Are you kidding me?
I was like, okay, yes.
Yeah.
yeah,
It might only been 12 ounces, but still, though, it was like $4. I thought
For
it
a
was
double
cool.
two-hearted, you'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, either way, it was still good. I was like,
I'll roll with it. Things are working in my
Yes.
favor right now. Yeah.
No kidding.
there's a tiny little town in Iowa called Fort Madison, right on the Mississippi, and there's a brewery there called Lost Duck Brewing Company. He opened his brewery in the 80s, the late 80s, and the guy has only raised the price of his beer one time since then.
Mhm.
It started out at $2.50 for a pint, and now he's raised it up to $3 for a pint. But all of his beer that he makes himself is
Right.
$3 a pint. They charge a lot for the food there. They have like really amazing, crazy good food.
Mhm.
So he makes it up on the food. But yeah, all of his beer is $3. And if you show up during their quacky hour, happy hour,
Quacky. Yeah.
it's down to $2.50, and you can buy a bunch of those wooden nickels.
Okay.
And then use them otherwise. So you buy all your $2.50 beers in the wooden nickels, and then you can use those when it's $3 if you want to save your 50 cents. So,
Oh, that's pretty cool.
but yeah, since the 80s, and he's still running well. The place is doing fine. So, like, hey, he's doing something right.
Yeah. No, if it's working, don't go messing with it.
Mhm.
But you think like you're really undercutting yourself. But yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Dragon's Milk Reserve.
Which one did you get? The chocolate?
The
which
coffee
one?
chocolate.
Oh, you just got that's the latest one that came out. So I think with New Holland and Dragon's Milk, where they were doing like a new one on a variety every 3 months, I think they kind of got away from that and they're kind of just going with different stuff now. So have you had that one yet?
I have not.
Yeah. I won't give you my thing until you actually have it. But yeah.
I actually just saw it in the stores here not too long ago. But it's
Yeah.
from December, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's when they released that latest one coming out, but
Yeah.
I don't think they did a new variant as of yet.
But I saw they had, was it the Red Ale and something?
I haven't seen the Red Ale anywhere yet, but I know about it.
I think we can get the triple mash one too as well.
Nice.
I believe. Have you seen that one?
I've not seen a triple mash as of yet.
Like,
I saw them both. I think I saw the triple mash, but I did definitely saw the red ale one. I didn't pick that one up. I should have, but I haven't yet. I'll go back and get it though. Gotta let my dog in.
Aubrey said he's always preferred a Miller High Life over a Bud Light. Actually, I prefer a Miller High Life over a Bud Light.
I miss MGD.
Did they not make it anymore?
I can't find it. I've been looking.
I was trying to think in Kentucky. I thought they still had it when I was there last.
Yeah.
What's that, Miller High Life?
Jalen Draft.
MGD.
I drank that a lot in college.
Yeah, I liked MGD. Haven't seen it in a long time. I can't find it anywhere.
I know you can get it in Canada because off the 10th, Chris, that's one of his favorite beers, so he always gets it up there. Pays an arm and a leg for it, but yeah.
You actually look for it, Mel?
Huh?
Have you actually looked for it, or you just don't remember?
Yeah. The biddies around here, they don't carry it, and Liquor Barn and a couple other places, I haven't been able to find it anywhere.
Yeah, it's still out there because I got a place here that comes out like 10 miles away from me, Kelly's Liquors. They actually carry it. Because it'll be a fine wine and spirit. Yeah, there's places that are still carrying it. So it's probably a distributor not carrying it. If they're not having a lot of sales, they probably cut it from their distribution.
Maybe. Yeah. Choose asking me to blank the camera because he has to get something out of this room.
Come on, Stu.
Cut it on without him knowing so we can see him. Aubrey Miller is good. Yes, Miller's decent enough. The track closes Lakeshore Drive, Michigan Avenue, the Field Museum.
Field Museum, not Museum of Science and Industry. I had that wrong, but still.
I just looked at the tab here.
Do you want to wave your arm or anything, Ben?
26.51 Canadian. Is that for we're talking about the Bush? Hey, Chew. There's Chew. You may have known him from Mr. Hand helping Mr. Bill back in the day.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah. Basically, in and around Grant Park is what JT said on the race.
Yeah.
Huggy Brown started as a young guy on Miller Lite and stuck with it for decades. Absolutely never liked Bud Light. Yeah, I was never as huge. I mean, it's funny. Last time I drank Bud Light, it was because we had a golf outing and we got free Bud Light at the bar after the golf outing because the bar was a sponsor of it. So it was like, it's free, it's there, but I never got really get it as much. Now, I will say, bless you, that I did the Bud Light Ritas, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've done those and everything more than actually the Bud Light beer itself. And I was asking you earlier about the Chelada. I've done the Bud Light Chelada before, I think it was. So,
but Modelo does those too, and they're way better for Modelo.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering what the comparison was, what you thought between them.
Oh, yeah. The Modelo ones they're more robust. They have a bigger flavor, and I just think I like the Modelo ones a lot. I don't like the Budweiser ones as much.
Now, have you done the Clamatos as well?
Yeah.
Are you a fan of those?
I am. I like them okay. A place where I worked with a lot of folks from Mexico, and we used to have beers after work, and they always had the Corona and put the Clamato in it, and we would just have that after work. It was really nice.
Oh, that's pretty funny there, Beer Hounds. You started because you take your dad's Miller. So you call me a beer hound. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's funny you said that because the first beer I remember sipping on or actually taking was when I used to, like, my grandparents, they would have, like, people over and do stuff. Like, they play card games, all kinds of stuff like that. They'd be like, oh, give me a Miller High Life from the fridge. And it'd be a little 8-ounce type thing. So I would get it, I'd crack it open, I'd take a little sip, and then go take it to them and stuff. But it was Miller, that kind of my first so much sneaking of a beer type thing, you know.
I have a picture of me at about 3 years old sitting in a cute little plastic red chair. I had my legs crossed and I was holding a can of Coors Light. Someone thought, rather than take the beer from the baby, let's just take a photo because that makes sense. So there is a photo of me having a Coors Light at 3.
And it's like that. It's where it all began.
Yeah, I guess so.
But I remember when they had Taste Chicago, which is probably why they moved Taste to fall. Crazy. we had tasted Cincinnati when I was in Cincinnati. That was always a good thing. Yeah, that's not one of those events. Is not something you want to. If you're watching calories, yeah, you don't want to go to those because
Yeah.
that does you no good whatsoever. I'm drinking what else? A Dovetail Vienna. Very nice, JT.
Nice.
Oh, hey, Liz. Happy Thursday to you. Cheers, my friend.
Hi,
Liz,
Liz.
Liz was great.
Yes.
Liz was great to meet in person there as well. Tractor Brewery X Freedom Beer American Pale Ale.
And
Nice.
I just did a Buffalo Creek Brewing Redheaded Stepchild
Oh,
strawberry blonde.
now is that able to be said nowadays?
That's what I was going to say, right? I was like, can you actually say that now?
I mean, we already got the PETA
Yeah,
people
so.
after us, so we're gonna have the gingers after us now.
Might as well
You
just
know,
bring them all on. Just bring them all on.
But these words are not inherently bad. This can be just, you can have a redheaded stepchild, and that's not a bad thing, right? It's 6.1%
No.
on this one.
I mean, yes.
I wonder who first said that. Like,
Technically, that's true.
This one we did a pretty good job. The strawberry doesn't come across as artificial. You know, it's so hard to do strawberry in a beer. They did a pretty good
Oh,
job
yeah.
with this one.
Strawberry and cherry.
strawberry's hard, but I think watermelon might be the toughest to do
Yeah, it
because
always,
you have to get so much watermelon to pull it off.
Yeah. I think cherry's a hard one also.
Yeah,
yeah.
without it becoming a medicine-y type feel.
You're right.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
I was that being medicinal. So
yeah.
Atwater Brewing Company had a Michigan cherry blonde that was so amazing.
I haven't had
So
water in
good.
so long. They're pretty solid. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I always think of like the Sam Adams cherry wheat they did. To me, I felt like it was Chris Rock put some tussin on it. Like it was it just felt like it was cough syrup after a
I
point.
should have just put Robitussin on
Yeah,
the label.
yeah.
Like that was just
Yeah.
insanely bad.
And I've had other breweries that have kind of been that same way, but I just think of them because that was like one of the first ones. But
Actually, fun
but there's
story.
some that I just did a review on one that I don't know if I released it yet or not, but it was like a chocolate. I think it was the one from Heavy Seas. I may have put that up there with the chocolate covered stout they did. That one was actually well done.
Fun story. The first time I had the cherry wheat from Sam Adams was actually at the Atlanta airport. It was me, Chu, and Beer a Day with TK.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were leaving Atlanta, we had been visiting Brian the Beer Snob and Blue Ice and stuff. And yeah, we ordered this, thing. We were like, oh, we haven't tried this, and tried it. And we were like, I don't know if I can drink this. I mean, we did, of course, because alcohol abuse is not allowed. But
Not allowed.
That was rough. It was rough. TK was very scathing on that one.
Ray, I think we all sneezed at some point tonight. So yeah, thank you, Ray. Yeah,
It's all the smoke.
Yeah,
It's all the smoke.
I feel like if I meet Blue, to be like, "You're my boy, Blue."
Oh yeah. Oh, that's Chu and him have been doing that for a really long time now.
I'll be rolling with that old school every time I see him.
Well, it's you my boy Blue and you my boy Chu. So they say it back and forth every time we chat to each other. It's ridiculous.
Castle west of Mexicali, still east of TJ. Okay. So, San Diego and Orange County are the epicenter of craft beer in Southern Cal. San Diego definitely has the scene in Orange County. Yes, Thornberry, Ontario, Canada. So Ray actually responded, I think, when I was looking it up there earlier. Got Emerson in the house. Cheers, my friend. Much like her, I got him on the road drinking a Buzz Bomb by Warhorse. Now give me your cell number. Cheers.
Let me just read it out loud to everyone.
Yeah. Emerson, did you bring your Rajay Beer Venture Stein on the road with you? I expect you to. I'm just saying. I expect that out of you.
It'll probably get you some deals.
Probably. San Diego and Orange County are epicenter. Oh, okay, I had that one there. Hey, Sam's in the house down in Australia. Cheers, my friend. Good day. He's actually ahead of us in the future. Nothing wrong with 20 beers a day. Is that what you said, Rod? Oh. Hey, nothing wrong with 20 beers a day either. If you can do it. I mean, Andre Giant never had a problem. So I'm just saying,
20 beers we can get him started.
Speaking of the future, I've gotten hooked into the Lazarus Project now. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not. I think it comes on TNT, but it's done out of the UK. Oh my gosh.
I
I
saw
think-
you post something about it, so I put it on my list of
Yeah.
things to watch.
It's pretty intense. It's pretty good. It's one of those shows you have to pay attention because it goes back and forth from timelines on stuff. But I'm pretty much convinced now at this point that UK has better writers than we do for some of their shows. Because every time I watch a UK show, I'm pretty much hooked in. Whether it's something like this or something like Peaky Blinders or it's the Gangs of London, whatever. It's just like they're always got great stuff.
They do seem better.
And this show is pretty intense. But if you haven't seen The Lazarus Project and you're a sci-fi type fan, I definitely recommend it. I'm all caught up now because I binged like in 2 days the first 4 or 5 episodes and waiting for the next one to come out.
So it's not all out yet, right?
No, it comes out every week. They release one.
I might just wait for it all.
I want everything to be like Netflix. Just give it to me all now.
I know.
Or like Amazon Prime. Just throw them all out there. I'm an adult. I'm a grown ass man. I can control my time. Just give them all to me. Yeah.
We just started watching. I'd say a week ago. We're through the first season. Just started the second season. Which is only 2 seasons out now. It's called Yellow Jackets.
Oh, I heard about that, but I haven't watched it yet. But I heard that was really good. Yeah,
I think it's on Showtime. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. Well,
it's almost like 2 different series in one because it shows. So it's about a girls' soccer team, and they had like a plane wreck, and they went missing for like I think it was like 18 months or something like that.
Oh wow!
So part of the story is them going through the wilderness or whatever, when they were stranded. And then part of the story is when they're adults. So it's kind of like 2 in 1, which is kind of cool.
So there's a lot of flashback stuff then too on that one. Yeah. Yeah. For those of you that actually, and it seems to be a love-hate relationship with the series now, The Walking Dead, right? So now they're about to release the new one, which is going to be Maggie and Negan, which is interesting in itself because for those that hung in with The Walking Dead, I know Ty, like after Glenn dies, Shannon's like, I'm out. I'm out. You killed Glenn. You killed Glenn. I'm out. But now there was like a thing between the end of the regular Walking Dead where Maggie and Negan actually got to a point of kind of moving forward through some things. Although Maggie still wants to kill Negan, but it's kind of like needs Negan, and Negan's like afraid that this is going to be the time when she tried to do. And so it's kind of interesting because now they have to work together because in the new series is Herschel that gets kidnapped, which is Maggie's kid.
Okay, yeah.
And Negan's actually taken a liking to Herschel over the last few seasons of The Walking Dead. So they got to work together to try to find. So it's kind of interesting putting them two together. And then you have the Rick and Michonne that's about to start as well coming up. So I don't know. I don't know if I can go back into the Walking Dead type thing because there's just so much happening for different stuff. And I think at some point Daryl's going to have his spinoff too. It's just like this is like too many Law and Order type things. When they broke off to the various shows or like the SVUs or the what's the other one? CSIs, where they'd be like CSI Vegas, CSI Philadelphia, CSI New York.
CSI was in every single city in America.
It's like you're separating too much. You're doing too much. But if you're a Walking Dead fan, they have that. I think the Maggie and Negan one kicks off, I think, this weekend possibly. So, but yeah. But it's
that one too.
Yeah, but the Lazarus Project definitely got me hooked into that. I know they signed on more for The Boys. I don't know if you ever watched The Boys. That's actually been a pretty good series. I'm looking forward to the new season of that. I don't know who's making the series now in the States, though, because I think the writers are still on strike. Aren't they still on strike right now?
I think so.
So I don't know any new stuff that might be coming up. So anything you're watching now has already been done. I don't know how it's going to happen in the fall where people aren't doing stuff. So yeah. That's not even on strike. It was like a big boom of like reality TV type stuff. So
reality TV.
When COVID hit, like they just kind of quit filming stuff too for a while.
Yeah.
Kind of almost falling back in that category again.
Yeah,
sort of.
I mean, if they wanted to try to bring back again the American Gladiator series, it'd be a perfect time. I say that because I'm joking because I was watching ESPN the other day and they were doing like part 1 and part 2, 30 for 30. I'm like, there's another time for American Gladiator make a return. I
used to love that show. That'd be awesome if they did bring it back though. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, you can watch it 24/7 on Pluto right now, I think.
Oh, is it really? Like, all the
Yeah,
time. They're
there's an
showing.
American Gladiator channel on
Yeah.
Pluto right now. Because Chu and I have definitely had a couple beers and watched that for a while.
Truth
Sometimes
comes out. The truth
Sometimes I watch American Gladiator. I'm like, yeah, this is probably the ending of the Coke era. Like I feel like there was probably some people up on Coke when they were
Oh, I
watching that.
guarantee it was. They were out. Yeah, they
I'll
were
do it
hyped
then.
up big time.
Oh man, the 80s and 90s. What are you gonna do? If you were there, you know.
No, you know.
Yep.
Harley, the time is right. We got to associate ourselves with these guys while we got the chance, right? Got to do something. Optimus tasty will creep up on you. Yeah, 10%. You know, I had a couple right now. I had my second one I just cracked open. But you know, I can handle it. I can handle it. Drunk dog, LMAO. Nothing worse than a doggy beer fart, though.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of doggy beer farts are silent but deadly, I've heard. So
Mhm.
like they don't usually make a noise as much, but it's like you just know. It's like Phil Collins. I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
Hold on.
Doodah, doodah.
No, is there any person that hears that song and does not do the drum roll when it comes in, when it kicks in? I feel like you have to at that point.
It's required.
Yeah. I think Mike Tyson clearly showed why when he did The Hangover. It's like you have to favorite part coming up and then oh my dog.
Have you heard have you heard where they were questioning whether that was an actual true event? That actually
Yes. Yeah, like the whole story, like what I've heard from the story behind it is basically seeing somebody that had, I guess, that was drowning, that had done something bad or whatever and didn't help him type thing. I think he did something. I don't know if it was about Phil Collins or about somebody else, but the person that done something to the person that's watching's
right.
cheated with the spouse or something like that, everything that they were drowning and he saw him, but he wasn't going to help him or whatever like that. Yeah.
People asked him, like, is that actually something that you went through? And he won't answer that question. So
Yeah.
He's
probably like, what's the statute of limitations? No, I can't answer that. I can't. I don't know. It was just a song. Yeah. I mean, how many people, you know, when we found out that Alanis Morissette, You Ought to Know was about the funny guy from Full House. Like nobody saw that coming. Like that's the guy? That's the guy.
Really? That one?
In the theater? That's
sure?
the guy? Yeah.
Huh.
You went down on him in the theater? That guy, the funny guy?
Oh man.
I forget what his real name is. I know he was Joey on the show or whatever, but it's like Joey? Yeah. Really? You're making a song about that guy. Yeah. So it must have cut pretty hard. I witnessed a drunk Labrador myself, but it was not mine. Poor thing, he was an alcoholic.
Oh.
Was that a beer in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? LOL.
I think that was in reference to Shannon sneaking beer in.
Right? Just popped a fine company Rattler brewed in Moncton, New Brunswick. I do like a nice Rattler. I'm not a shandy person, but I do like Rattlers. It's weird. It's like not liking ketchup, liking ketchup, but not liking tomatoes. I know. There's not that much of a difference between them, but yeah.
I'm just saying, that's me.
Yeah.
And my brother's opposite. He likes tomatoes, but he doesn't like ketchup.
Yeah. My grandfather used to, when I was a kid, he'd be like, they make stewed tomatoes. He's like, I don't like stewed tomatoes. He's like, you eat ketchup all the time. Yeah, but it's ketchup. It's not stewed tomatoes. I don't like stewed tomatoes. Like, yeah. He's like, but you know tomatoes are in the ketchup. Yeah, but it's ketchup.
It's not. It is, but it is.
Like, you haven't worked any formula to make this ketchup. It's just sitting in the pan here as stewed tomatoes. See, I can't mess with that, you know?
Yeah, pass.
Yeah, pass.
So to ketchup, I'm in, but
Tell you the $20 tall boy at Kraft never tasted better. Well, for $20, you better enjoy it, right? It better be good.
Yeah.
And it better be the hottest damn day in the history of mankind.
Where did your dad live, Maui? Sounds close to mine.
Mount Morris, Illinois. Itty bitty town. Tiny.
Your dad hasn't checked in yet tonight.
No. I was thinking about that earlier.
The YouTube channel Virtual Radifan has a camera overlooking the Mississippi River in Fort Madison.
And that makes sense. That railroad bridge is freaking crazy. It's like this weird railroad bridge, and it does the twist thing to let the barges through, and they have the tracks for the train, and then there's a lower level where cars go. So you can be like under a train going, like driving in your car, and it's just. I didn't like the bridge. I only took the distance off to the side. I did not want to drive on it.
Well, until you driven through a tunnel that's a one-way lane from both sides around a curve, you haven't lived life yet. So when
I'd like to keep continuing living life, so I will not be doing what you're talking about.
So when I was dating my wife, now we were back in college, we go down to St. Albans, West Virginia, where she lived at. To get out to St. Albans, you had to go through a tunnel, and a tunnel go around a bend, but you had to basically honk the horn and flash the lights in case cars are coming from the other way.
Gotcha.
So you sit out there, you do that, and it's just like, whoa, what's going on? And they're like, well, this is how you have to go through the tunnel. And like, first time I was riding through it or whatever, and it's just like, you're pretty much assuming that other person's okay on the other end. Like, I've seen people, obviously in college, hammered, they get in their car or something like that and everything. That seems like an accident waiting to happen, but
yeah,
that's how they would get into the town and stuff. They honk the horn and go to the tunnel. Like, all right, all aboard the roller coaster. Let's go.
Through.
Yeah, just roll the dice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
And it's just like, okay, I'm just a passenger on the ride here, so nothing I can do. When you ever sit in the back seat and you're going around a turn and you're kind of looking to see if there's anything else. Like, you're not driving, but you're still looking. Like,
you're right. Just make sure everybody else sees it.
Make sure, yeah. Dragon's Milk Preserve, yum. Yes. High Life is one of the better macros. I'll give you that. Tons of MGD in Canada. Yeah, it's popular up there. So, and you're right off the border. But you wouldn't want to pay Canadian prices, I tell you that.
Oh,
I get MG here recently.
Cute.
Huh?
The picture that Ray had hits him with his. Is that?
Oh yeah, the little cat.
Cute.
Yeah, little kitty. I can get MGD here recently, revisited, and it was decent. Beer House said, yeah, I've had MGD. I think probably 91. I think the last time I had MGD, like in college. Yeah,
it's been forever since I've had it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do a lot of Mac reviews on the channel. That might be something to do. The one thing on the channel that I will be doing is more of the beer news type stuff, because there's so many beer reviews that are out there that people are doing, but the beer news stuff I'm be doing. Oh, speaking of upcoming stuff. So for those of you watching, some great upcoming things taking place. Got a couple of book authors. I can't talk. I say authors. Book authors that'll be coming on to talk about a couple of their books they've actually done. I've actually got a brewer that's going to be coming in from one of the local breweries down in North Carolina. Awesome. A couple other things. So there's going to be some new stuff coming on the channel. So stay tuned for that. Once I get them all set on the posting, I'm going to post it. I think one might be July 10th. I'm going to have one of the book writers come on. So just some cool things to look forward to out there.
Love it.
Yeah. MGD in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Oh.
Yeah, I get some MGD and some cheese, please. Yeah, there you go.
I can go about 45 minutes and get myself some MGD. So.
Yeah. It's like in Wisconsin, what MGD do you pair up with what kind of cheese? There's a question for you, because if you're in Wisconsin, you got to get cheese.
It's all the cheeses. It goes to all the cheeses.
All the cheese.
All of you, that's right.
And an MGD. Walk into the shop. I'll take all of your cheese and one bottle of MGD, please.
Yeah. I don't know if you want a Swiss or a Gouda with that. I don't know. Still like Miller High Life more than MGD, Beer House said.
Fair enough.
The lighter beer. Hey, Chew from earlier from JT. Dee Dee's in the house. What up? Cheers, my friend.
Double D.
Speaking of Dee Dee being here, so behind me on the TV set, I've actually got the match on. So if you don't know what the match is, it's Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson versus Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce in golf. So they're doing like a 2-on-2 scramble on TNT.
That's on right now tonight.
It's on right now, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And what I'll say about it is, I feel good about my golf game watching these guys up here hacking it around. So I mean, you guys are multi-million-dollar athletes. You have time. You can go out there and play a lot more golf if you wanted
I'm gonna
to.
turn it on just to have it on now.
The shots that you're making, I'm feeling good. I play a few times a year if I'm lucky, and I can hit better shots than you guys are hitting out here on some stuff. So just saying, we're all human.
I thought, no, maybe not.
I like to know why she was in witness protection. He knows stuff, right?
Of course he knows stuff.
Good. Got to keep them protected.
But I'm not gonna tell.
She knows where a lot of bodies are buried. It's nothing but deep respect from me. Yeah. They're still looking for Chew in New York. Yeah, he's definitely an informant.
Oh,
But I
not
heard
just New York.
not just. Heard the High Life is exactly MGD. Yes, there was someone on the panel last week that had 16-ounce glass bottle of MGD. No, High Life isn't MGD though. It's definitely a difference in it. From what I remember.
16-ounce glass bottle.
Although maybe Aubrey, I will do a comparison between them or something.
Oh, there you go.
If I can find them.
Oh, yeah.
Show some love for some macros. Matt's in the house. Cheers, my friend. Happy to see you. Happy Thursday to you. Miller High Life is seriously serious cult following, diehard Miller drinkers. Yeah, well, High Life goes back. No, I'm thinking of Miller Lite goes back to the commercials in the 70s and 80s. But High Life goes back. I mean, the one thing I miss about High Life is the commercials when they had the black guy that was in the commercial who ended up dying back years ago. But remember, he said the black guy used to work and he would go to places and he would take their High Life away from them if they weren't doing stuff properly. They had some pretty cool commercials that were pretty funny.
Take a moment and go to the place where Miller High Life is a cult. Just take a second. What would that entail for that cult?
For a Miller High Life cult?
Yeah, Miller High Life cult. I mean, I assume they're going to be at the NASCAR race.
Would Miller High Life be NASCAR though? I mean, High Life's a champagne of beer, so
that might be a little too bougie for.
I feel like the Miller High Life people would be the the tuxedo shirt people walking around.
You're right.
Maybe the tuxedo T-shirt people. That would be Miller High Life people.
T-shirt.
Yeah.
I'll raise the Miller High Life and all hail.
You might even catch a couple in a top hat with the tuxedo T-shirt. I'm just saying.
Okay.
That to me is the monocle.
Yes.
Yeah. Just looking like the Monopoly man. I'm just saying. That's what I think of the Miller High Life. I think that'd be kind of the part of the cult. I swear, if I see some club come out with that outfit, you guys are going to owe me some money.
Love it.
It's like the old movie The Warriors where they had the different gangs. You'll see a Miller High Life gang out there with all monocles and a hat and a tuxedo shirts. Miller High Life, come out and play.
Riding up in the Prius? What kind of car would that be?
Oh, no. High Life, they ain't doing electric.
But I was gonna say.
I mean, they may be pulling out the old like Dodge Darts or
old Caddy.
I'm trying to think of the old like. I feel like a Miller High Life would be like an old Plymouth, some type of Plymouth type vehicle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or like I was thinking like a Chevy. My mom and dad had when I was a kid, like a '79 Chevy Chevrolet, big long car.
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna be running some cars out with the dunes or something. Yeah, they're gonna get dirty, not overly dirty, but they're gonna get dirty, but they're gonna still be classy about it. Miller High Life. That's the Miller High Life drinker right there.
I love it.
I think of that car reminds me of like Cedric the Entertainer in the stand-up comedy thing or whatever, and he's talking about the steering wheel.
Oh, the steering wheel.
Oh yeah.
so big.
Well, I feel like this is our first meeting of the Miller High Life cult.
Yeah. We should start a beer cult, right? Yeah.
There we go.
That could be a T-shirt idea. Just to put that out there too for Miller High Life drinkers. Yeah. Sipping on some JD here. Very nice, Matt. Are you drinking just the regular JD or anything special in the JD you're drinking? Mallory's beer looks yummy. Mallory has good beers. Yeah.
Yeah, the Redheaded Stepchild is excellent. It's a tiny little brewery. They don't distribute much further than 30 feet from their door, but yeah, it's quite tasty.
It's funny you said it because JC does comment. Gingers know very well who they are. We would not be attacking gingers on this show, please. Truth of Matt. Matt and Beer have Mitt and Beer have no business together.
I had a chocolate stout that had mint in it once that was pretty nice.
Oh well, you have the Southern Tier thick mint. It's pretty.
Yeah, I was
decent.
gonna say, yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was pretty good. And I think Around the Bend did their pistachio cream. I think they did one with mint too that was quite good.
Well, apparently Beer House had to stay there with the Better Ford Clinic at some point, where they used to slam bottles of Robitussin to get off.
Tussin, Tussin. Well, I guess
Shoes told me so many stories because he grew up in Warren, Michigan, which is right by Detroit, and they used to just when they were 19, stuff. They would just drive over to Canada and drink for the night and come back.
Yeah. Well,
So,
back then, yeah, you could go over when you had the whole security type stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was a freshman in high school, we went to Vermont as part of the ski club, and we were skiing
you were in a
Killatin.
ski club?
And
right.
shocking, right?
I love it.
I think they could find me on the mountain. I'm just saying, but
I'm 100% a Bunny Hill type, so I'm not saying nothing. I love that you were in a ski club. That makes me happy.
Things make sense. Ski club, fried bologna, no. Mrs. Gravy, no. Ski club, yes. That makes total sense.
do we know where
I
Ryan?
was all horseback riding. I did all the horseback riding stuff. So
But we ski Killatin, we ski still, but we were right at the border of Canada. So back then, this was like 88. They had to be careful because you could easily get over the border and come back, and you could drink at 18 over there. So all the chaperones had to take patrol to make sure nobody snuck out when we were up there and stuff. But yeah.
Rod also lettered in polo.
Didn't let her pull. Although when I was in 8th grade and I had to go to high school, I did want to go to a prep school that was there because they had a golf team. So I wanted to kind of go to that, but ended up having to go to public school still. So yeah. So ski club was the highlight there, going up to Killatin and Stowe and doing that. So yeah.
yeah, with where I'm living, ski club didn't really do much. It was the local sledding hill. Oh, it's the old dump. Okay, that works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it was funny
that was
because
our
we were
ski club.
from New Jersey to Vermont, and it's kind of like, oh, you went to ski club? Where'd you ski at? Oh, you tell people, like, oh, we ski Killatin and Stowe. That's like the best place on the East Coast to ski. Really did not know that. That's just where we went.
That was my next question. It's like, how's a Jersey kid join a ski club?
We had a ski club at our school.
We didn't even have a ski club here. And there's a place to go skiing not too far from here.
And the next year we were supposed to go to Canada, but I didn't want to go. My mom was mad because I didn't want to go to Canada for that trip or whatever. It's like, yeah, I'm kind of ski clubbed out at this point. But
My
yeah.
school had bowling team. Like,
See, we didn't have a bowling team. I would have done a bowling team. I could have done bowling team, but like Kingpin.
We didn't either, but now it's pretty big.
Yeah.
My niece, my brother's daughter, she's really good in bowling. She just started about a year ago.
Yeah.
And she went to like semi-state in high school.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this past year.
Well, you know the funny thing, being back on the East Coast now, which I forgot from being out so long in Kentucky and Ohio, lacrosse is huge on the East Coast. So we see so many different lacrosse leagues out, and we played lacrosse in gym class when we were in gym. I mean, that was part of one of the sports you would play and stuff, but it's so much more bigger here on the East Coast.
Oh, right, yeah.
sorry, I'm still laughing about Todd saying you lettered in polo. That was good enough. It needed to be brought back. That was great.
No tie, lettered in shot put and
Shot put.
football. And football. Had we had a polo, I've rode horseback before, but had we had a polo team, that'd be kind. Wait a minute, you know about regular polo or water polo?
No, we're on
You know about regular
horseback.
polo?
On the
Yeah,
horse-
Yeah,
Yeah.
horseback.
that'd have been kind of fun, I think. So
I mean, I guess either one would have been like,
Well, water polo was kind of interesting because I think I don't know if I told you the story before, Todd. We went to Dominican Republic, but get Dominican Republic and like the second day there or whatever. Apparently, it was for me it was like, oh, it's all inclusive. Let's start there. Let's end there. Let's see where we end up, or whatever. And away I went on the journey. During that course, I got pretty lit, and it was almost like to the point where okay, I didn't remember where I was on some stuff, and it was like okay, next day. So after getting back to the room, come back out the next day after that and everything, and it's kind of like people are coming up, hey, what's going on? But like people knew who I was and stuff. Like I had no idea who these people were. Like, okay, like we at the pool and they're like, oh, we're gonna play water polo. We want you to be a captain or whatever. I was like, I never played water polo. It's like, oh, you played yesterday. You were killing it out here. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, don't know what you're talking about, sir. And they're like, apparently I played water polo and didn't remember playing it. And I was really good at it. So when I did play it, realizing it, I'm like, I had no idea how I didn't drown because I was like just like all underwater most of the time. But yeah. And on top of that, at one point I led a chorus of people and singing 369, everything, so, and apparently I had the whole pool waving and singing and stuff. So yeah, did not realize I did that.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So hopefully nobody has it on video, but if you do see it pop up on video somewhere, yeah, I was probably down in Dominican Republic years ago.
That would be gold.
Yeah.
I will give money to anyone who finds that video. I'm not kidding.
So when you go to Dominican and say, hey, remember Rajay? It's like, oh yeah, the guy they will know. They will know.
Oh, Mr. Water Polo.
Yes.
But yeah, I was pretty popular after that. It seems so people were meeting people from that knew me from Germany, and they oh yeah, it's all that. So I don't know who they are, but like yeah, they all knew who I was. So
that was the moment of the hangover where you just didn't remember anything. Like
yeah, it was kind of like I needed that moment at the end of the film where like everyone look at it one time. Because I have no idea what else may have happened down there. So I just know I wasn't arrested, which is good.
And Mike Tyson and the tiger in the room, like, where'd you all come from?
Yeah. I didn't try to take the tiger and gyrating on it or anything like that. So yeah.
Oh man,
oh, that's funny.
But what's out of the country stays out of the country.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So ski club was fun. Though ski club was fun.
Who would have thought?
Let me what a playlist. Yo Jackets is great, very creepy.
Yeah, Liz.
I do like creepy.
It started season 2 yesterday, so
well they got
it only took us a day and a half or two maybe to get through first season. It was really good.
They got Squid Game 2, I think, about to start up again as well. So I may watch that when it comes back. That was kind of interesting.
I haven't watched that.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. By the end of it, it was kind of like pretty interesting on how it, because you started figuring out some of the stuff as it was going and like that and everything. But yeah, but there's a just the understatement of it. Like you get these people in it that are so deprived of what they actually need, basically in their minds to live as far as money. Like they want to do anything they can to actually get this chance to win this money and stuff to change their life. And it's just like there's a thing with that message kind of to it and everything. How far would you go? If things were that bad type thing, a despair type part of it. Friday night at the Starcade, Dusty Rhodes. I see you, Ric Flair. Jack Russell farts a lot. He jumps on all fours. So I guess they do make noise. I always thought they were silent farts that dogs did. Friends and I were huge Genesis fans long before Phil Collins song came out. So yeah, how can you hate that song? That song is like a classic song.
I know.
Yeah, you can still like Genesis.
I never
still
thought
like what else.
Birds even into that song until recently. I was like, I'm gonna go back and I was like, oh, okay.
You hear certain songs and it's like that song in Air Tonight to me takes me back to the 80s. Friday night, 10 o'clock, watching Miami Vice. And I can remember when they had it where it was like there was like Don Johnson was Sonny Crockett on there, but then he was Sonny. I want to say I think his bad side was Sonny Burns or like that or anything when he was a bad guy, but he put his hair in a ponytail and he was like undercover And if you make it back out, that's when I got introduced to that song during the episode. And he's calling his wife or girlfriend to let her know he may not make it back or whatever, like that and everything. And it starts off with that little soft thing in the air tonight. And then by the time he gets in the car, the drums kick in, all that kind of. It's just like I've always been hooked to that song, but that song always takes me back to that memory there. Any songs that take you guys back to any memories when you hear it? Like,
no, that song reminds me of David Copperfield. Like the specials he had, he always played that song doing some sort of trick of some sort. I don't know what it was. It always varied different, but he always played that song for some reason. I'm not sure why, but that always. So when I hear that song, that makes me kind of think of that for some, for that reason. Why he played it, I have no idea, but it was during different.
You can feel it coming in the air tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. He'd always play that song all the time.
So I was in a place the other day, and the song "MMMBop" by Hanson came on.
I was not expecting that. Okay.
Yeah. So when I was middle school, I liked a band called the Moffats. They were a Canadian band that played their own instruments, wrote their own songs, 4 brothers. And Hanson was the American version with 3 brothers who played their own instruments. Fine. I did not like Hanson at all.
No.
I was not a fan. But 2 of my best friends were. 3 of my best friends were. And they effectively cut me out of the friendship for approximately about a year because I liked the wrong band.
Oh, man. Shit got real.
So the other day when I heard that song come on, I was like, God damn it. That being said, I don't know if you've listened to the lyrics of the song. That entire song is literally about death. It's about how short life is and how we're all going to die. That is what that song is about. And MMMBop apparently is a measurement of time, and that's just how long we have on this earth.
Like
that
a bip.
Is what the song is about.
Hmm.
Which is really weird because it doesn't sound like it's.
And it kind of makes you just want to be like.
100% is.
I thought it was like just a regular old pop song. I didn't really listen to it. Like, yeah.
No, it says in an MMMBop you're gone. Like it's literally about how short life is, and like don't take it for granted. So yeah.
I have learned, and Shannon, I just started listening to a lot of music in the last 6 months or so. But we pull the lyrics up on our iPad and listen, read the lyrics as they're singing, and it's amazing like how many songs are so like you were saying like MMMBop. You would think it's kind of beat, but it's not really about it's not really
about that.
A lot of the songs are just so deep, and you're like, oh geez, it's not really that feel good. With the beat makes you think it's something different. It's not even that at all. It's like unreal.
Yeah.
Because you don't really, how little you actually pay attention to a lot of lyrics when you just hear it on the radio or whatever. You just kind of listen to the rhythm, the beat of it. It's like, oh, this is good. This is good. And you're like, no, this song's not really that good. Like, I said,
no,
the lyrics and what the
music not a happy song.
Not really that good. You shouldn't be that happy about it.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to Space Castle in the house. Appreciate you, my friend. If you don't know Space Castle, check him out here on the YouTube. Also, their podcast. He does a lot of stuff with the podcasts and stuff too. So, for all you podcast fans, and speaking of podcasts, I do these. I do. Why can't I talk as well tonight?
I know, right?
I do. I do. It's like one is it Jeffrey Osgood or something.
Todd, you said do. Take a moment, guys.
I do share these as replays on the podcast channel as well. So if you guys ever miss a part, you can listen to the podcast too, or if you can watch it on the video, whatever you want to do.
I did not know that was happening. This is perpetuity all over the place. I don't know how I feel about that.
It's like Ricky Bobby and Hands. I don't know what I'm doing right now. What do I do with these? So yeah.
One where I learned how to do the the knife and the open and the drink. Can we leave that one out?
Yeah. Oh, the shotgun?
Shotgun.
Yeah.
Can we not have that in perpetuity, please?
Too late. Too late.
It's out there. We're gonna have you do another shotgun at some point. Give you a little chance of redemption.
Not today.
We'll give you a bigger hole in the next one that way.
In fact, Rod cut that out.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. Currently drinking Bet from Pariah Brewing. Very nice. Or Parish Brewing. Very solid. Nelson Help. Double
Did you
IPA
say
from Broussard,
Pariah
Louisiana.
Brewing?
I said Pariah because we actually have a brewery in Baltimore called Pariah. So when I read
you
it at
do?
first, yeah, we do, but it's
I
Parish
was about
Brewing.
to say that it's a great name for a brewery, Pariah
Yeah,
Brewing.
we do have
I
Pariah
love it.
Brewing here, and actually met the guy. I need to get over to their brewery and check out some of their stuff and everything. But yeah, Pariah Brewing's out of Baltimore, but this is Parish Brewing out of Broussard, Louisiana. Very nice.
We do have a Temperance Brewing Company here, which is kind of fun.
Oh, very nice. There you go. Temperance, the temperance movement from back in the day.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, Beer Hound. Thank you. I do what I can. You guys all make it fun and stuff. So thank you there. Definitely appreciate it. Enough of that. Just cut it out. Just cut it out.
Cut it out.
Oh, goodness. Careful, you're going to upset
Had to throw
Alanis.
that in there. Had to throw that in there.
You're going to upset Alanis Morissette.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be ironic? Isn't that ironic? Don't you think?
No, it's not. That is not what
Again.
irony is.
Again, it's the Full House guy. The Full House guy. Really? That's the guy? That's the guy you wrote a song about? That guy, Joey? Just cracked the Bootleggers Brewery Rocco Red American Red Ale. Oh, very nice. I kind of like that name, Rocco Red Ale. I like that.
Yeah. It's nice.
No High Life is not an MGD. No way. Yeah, it's not the same. No. High Life Colt is good, and you better not argue about it or else. Maybe as he said that, I'm thinking of the West Side Story, and that's like the MGD Colt. Like,
Yeah.
You got to get the bounce in there.
Yeah.
Rob, if you're going to snap, you got to bounce.
You're right.
It's got to be a bounce.
it's like you were talking about the Miller High Life. We got the time. We got the Miller beer. Yeah. And High Life, drive a Thunderbird or a Cruiser. High Life and a Thunderbird? Maybe a Thunderbird, the old Thunderbird. Yeah. No, High Life is a 19. See, Plymouth Roadrunner with a 3. See,
There
me
you
and
go.
Bill, me and Beer
There you
Hound
go.
are right there. Like, you got to have a Plymouth there. Does anyone like the Goose IPAs? I was in Vegas back in January. They had on draft, and I think I drank the whole keg. Well, Mal's in Goose territory.
They're okay. I mean, I'm not an IPA fan in general, but it's fine. You know, it doesn't astound me, but it's well made and it's consistent and sure.
It works, right?
I was
Yeah.
going to say the same thing. It's one of those, if you want an IPA at a restaurant, most restaurants probably have it for the most part.
Right.
So it's like,
It's always a safe
Right.
bet.
yeah, right. It's not
Yeah, I mean, depending where you're
off,
at, like
not-
some of the Fridays or Applebee's might have it on a tap handle or something. It's one of those ones.
right.
As you
right.
get closer to Illinois and stuff, you'll see in spots and stuff too.
Yeah.
I remember Doc Martens back in the 90s. Everybody's getting Doc Marten boots back then.
My brother still has a pair from
I
like
had
30
some
years
too.
ago. That
Yeah.
look brand new still.
I don't know who this Doc Marten is, but everybody seems to love him. Yeah.
No, somebody comment because they
Yeah.
made a comeback a little bit, and they're like, "Where'd you get those?" He's like, "Shit, these boots are probably older than you are."
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Man, they look brand new." He's like, "Yeah, he took care of them."
That's like the old Tonka toy trucks when we had them as kids when they were like actually made out of metal and not
Oh
plastic.
yeah.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah. Nowadays, kids get, "Hey, got my finger on my Tonka truck." Like, shit, we were messing with metal back in the 70s. Didn't even care, son. You know, then you got to have plastic stuff. You couldn't even do jarts nowadays. Jarts.
No.
We were playing jarts in the 70s. You got stabbed. That's your fault for not paying attention.
Yeah, you
My
should be moving
sister
it,
and I
yeah,
used to
right.
throw them at each other. Like
Yeah.
that was our thing.
Yeah.
Because why not? You can
Ruined-
move fast enough, right?
Just see
They
if
ruined a perfectly
Not
good
essence.
backyard game. That used to
Yeah.
be the game back in the day. It was before cornhole. It was after horseshoes, but it was jarts, and it had its moment in the sun.
Yep.
Yes.
Likely the Coors Banquet that tasted pretty good as well, very similar to Miller product. Coors Banquet aside, I did a review, and I'm getting the people that started to watch that video here recently. But Coors Banquet again, how big was Coors Banquet? They made a movie about it. Might have seen it. Smokey and the Bandit. That's what the Snowman was hauling. Coors Banquet to get it from Texas over to Florida. That's what was in there. That's what they were supposed to do. So yeah.
Wait, was that like those cases of beer that were coming across the border and were full of drugs?
No, that guy just used a Coors box, I think, right? Like
I'm
he put
just
the drugs-
referencing
Yeah.
a beer news story we had
That
last
was funny. That was funny a couple weeks ago. We did that one. And it was like, yeah, just
Yeah.
nobody will think anything's a beer. Like, yeah, nobody in America
I
buys
think
that beer.
was Miller High
Yeah,
Life,
right.
actually. I think that was Miller High Life, actually.
Miller-
Maybe that's the Miller High Life cult.
I don't think it was a high. I don't think it was High Life though. I think it was
No, Michelob Ultra.
Mick Ultra. It's
It
like,
was
yeah,
Mick Ultra.
nobody buys that much Mick Ultra. So we need to check that box for you.
Yep.
We're gonna check the bids.
Yeah, like yeah. And it was like all meth. Not even like hidden and stuff. Like
Right.
it might have been in the beer cans or something like that. And no, it was just the meth bags inside the Mick Ultra box.
Yeah, I know. Like, I mean, if they had at least sealed it in the cans, maybe they wouldn't have gotten caught. But
Yeah, that was Price is competitive per ABV in the store. Yeah, I mean you can get a good deal there with the Coors Banquet for sure. And Coors Banquet isn't a bad one.
I don't think I've ever had that one.
The little stubby, you can get the stubby in a little bottle, or you can get the can.
Yeah, I don't think I've
Yeah.
ever had it.
Yeah, the water polo one trunks. Yeah, it's anybody that's ever played water polo, you know how you basically you try to keep your balance while you're in the water because you get dunked and all that kind of stuff. So you're going underwater and stuff like that and everything. How I played it the way I did and didn't drown or need mouth to mouth at some point, I have no idea. But
Well, that's what you were hoping for at the time. It's
yeah.
Apparently,
I
in Dominican, you were a superstar water
Yeah.
polo player.
I mean, they're like, oh no, and people were like, oh yeah, because if you go to Dominican Republic at the resort, and if you've been to resorts, it's kind of the same when they have like people getting the stuff together, and the guy's like, yeah, we're doing water polo in the pool, blah 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 blah, and the guy's like, you were here last time, we want you to come out, blah blah. The captain's like,
You're the
I don't know.
captain. Yeah,
And the people are like, woo, and it's like, I don't know any of you people that are clapping for me right now. I don't know what's
What are you
going
talking
on.
about?
And, yeah,
I've never
it's-
played. What do you mean?
Oh,
like,
I
I
love it.
play, yeah. And I ended up playing, and I did score a few goals. I'm just saying, but yeah, I was good at it. But I don't know
Well,
how good
I
I
mean, it
was
helps-
when I was drunk. But that's the
It helps
question.
because he could reach the bottom with the horse there. It's right.
But yeah,
True.
He's
Poor
the
horse.
guy who brought the horse. They're like, yes, we're doing polo right.
I used those skiing skills. So if
He had water skis and a
Water
horse.
skis. Yes. Rod did it all. He can do it all.
all I'm gonna say is, if you're going to
The
Dominican
horse is
Republic,
running. He's riding behind like, I got this ball. Yeah.
if you ever go to Dominican Republic and you go all inclusive, well, I just want to make sure you know what you're drinking and take your time. I mean, I definitely went left to right to see what I can get to, and it ended up being a good thing at the end. But I just don't remember. So
And
other
then
people,
mentioned Rod
Yeah.
J, the
yeah,
water polo guy. They're like,
yeah, the water,
yes,
yeah,
I know him. He was
yeah.
friends.
And
You're friends with him? He must be good too. So here's the
walk
captain.
around the resort and get stopped by people and high five, all kind of stuff. It's like I don't know. I didn't deserve that or whatever, but apparently.
Love it.
Thinking of music you listen to, because I never thought I would have a resort singing Yin Yang Twins and basically a strip club song at the resort, but everybody seemed to love it apparently. So
I desperately want to be near you when you get drunk at some point. I need to see this happen.
I'm singing.
This sounds amazing.
I mean, to be out there singing "Get Low" and people are doing it, and it's like, yeah,
No,
I mean,
no.
that's what people were telling me from the stuff that was taking place. But yeah, so yeah, it was years
Again,
ago.
I-
It was fun.
Again, I will pay cash money if anyone can get me those videos.
And then Rod, did you
Yeah.
wake up with your mattress up on the top floor, hanging out? on
No,
the
I
top
woke
floor?
up like during a rainstorm because I was like on the recliner. I guess I stopped at one point at the pool and it's like, okay, I'm gonna take a nap. You know how it is, you drink too much. I'm gonna take a nap. And then like a rainstorm came down. I was like, why am I getting rained on and stuff? So yeah, it's
Oh my
it's
god.
all but it's vacation. It's on vacation, and you know, that was the old Rajay back in the day, just kind of full steam ahead. Let's see what happens.
Well, what's
Yeah.
the line? What happens in all-inclusive resort stays in all-inclusive resorts, right?
Right. Yeah. Apparently so, including whatever I did that day. So yeah. But yeah, no, it was all good. It was fun. Dominican Republic is such a pretty area to go to. If you ever take a vacation down there, um, we went out to the beach. It's different, like in the beach. I mean, it's like the nice, not fully, I guess, white sand beach, but very nice sand beaches. And it's weird. Like they have these fish down there. They're like kind of clear where you can see through the fish, but the
Yeah.
fish are so used to the humans that they just come right up swimming right where you're at. I don't know if people were feeding them or whatever like that and everything, but it's kind of a cool type thing. And the water is just so crystal blue. It's just like, and the fruit that I'm not a fruit person, but I wonder what we put in our foods here in America.
You're right.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Because the fruit was so good and it was so ripe, but it was just like I don't get up thinking, oh, I want to get a piece of mango, a piece of watermelon, a piece of strawberry, and I would have it. And it was so satisfying versus what we get here. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
We said the same thing. We went to Jamaica. It was like one, the
Yeah.
water was like crystal clear. Then it was like the food was like, this don't taste like nothing we can get back at home. Like, what are they doing to us at home? What are they doing? Like, this isn't natural.
Well,
yeah,
when I lived,
Jamaica was the same way.
Yeah,
When I
it was
lived
so
in the-
good. Yeah, the fruits and everything. It was so good.
when I lived in the BVI, I would walk to and from work. It was just about a mile, and there was a lady who had her house about halfway along my route, and she had a mango tree that had just too many mangoes. She couldn't keep up with picking them. So as I'm walking to work, she stopped me. She's like, "Hey, you pick a mango every time you go by." And she was like very insistent that I had to do this. So I did. I didn't know how to eat a mango. I had never had a mango, like
Oh,
a
man.
whole
so
fruit.
good.
I had never
Yeah.
done, and it was this big. It was sweet potato size. It was huge. And I picked this mango. I got it to the school, and I was a teacher. I had all the little kids, and they said, "Ooh, you got a mango. Are you gonna have it for lunch?" And I said, "I don't know how to eat one." And they said, "Oh, we'll tell you." So you go out in the back and you sit on this rock, and there's another rock there, and you take this mango and you just bang it on the rock in front of you, and just keep banging it and roll it and keep banging it and roll it and keep banging it and roll it, and then you gotta peel a little circle out of the skin, and then you put a straw in there and just eat it. And I went, "Oh, that's how you eat a mango?"
Really?
And they were like, "It's the best way to eat a mango." And I said, "Okay." So they
Because we cut it up here, so
You're right.
I was thinking I thought you had to peel it and cut it because I'm used to the cut up
Yeah,
pieces.
that
here.
is technically how you're supposed to do it, but they had me make a mango smoothie
Oh, well, there
on
you
the
go.
rock. So I just had to beat the kids are all sitting there cheering me on while I'm banging this mango on the
That's
rock.
awesome.
And
But
then I
great.
pulled the little circle out and I stuck a straw down in there and I
Yeah.
drank pulp mango. Like it was
Oh.
crazy, but it was so freaking good.
I was gonna say, I bet it was phenomenal though.
It
Yes.
was so good. And
Well,
so I
it's-
started doing that every day. My arm strength improved immensely.
You're
She's
right.
out here benching mangoes. Yeah.
You know? So the children in the Caribbean taught me how to eat a mango, and that is officially how I think they should be eaten.
Hmm.
Awesome.
I think of the people that did like the coconuts down there too, where they get the coconuts down, they cut open, and they put a straw in that. Like people will drink
Yep.
it that way too.
Yeah.
Oh,
BJ said Robitussin and DM was popular in the army when I was in Germany. We called it Robo Trippin. Also popular for the Viagra effect, the Robo Bone. Did not know about that aspect of Robo. I mean, Chris Rock might have been onto something. He said put Tussin on it. Yeah.
Tussin.
5-0 Coors Banquet versus 4-2. Every beer except High Life equal price. Yeah, because they had the 4-2 that was out west. Just my FYI. The Phil Collins song was just overplayed so much with a few exceptions. I get tired of songs after the 1,000th listener. So that's like a classic. I can listen to that song. And I don't know if I ever get tired out of it. But speaking of music, shout out to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They actually have the and I thought it would be on TV. I have to see if it's on like something recorded. The 50th anniversary of hip hop was taking place tonight there.
Yeah.
So they had Run DMC that was going to be there. DMC was on the news this morning talking about it, and
So I listened one time
is
to
so
LL
amazing.
on Sirius,
yeah.
Roxy and Shantae, and they were there.
Oh, they were at the
doing a
event.
show
Okay.
from there today, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was interesting. They were talking to the DMC on CNN earlier this morning about stuff and just the stuff they were kind of talking about. They were kind of talking about the King of Rock type video type thing and how at the time they did it, the one guy was there with them from the Hall of Fame, and they're like the fact they actually had like in this video talking about a Hall of Fame that didn't even exist back then, because the Hall of Fame's only like 26 years old, and it's just like it was kind of prophetic when they would come up with the rock and roll type Hall of Fame, because nobody was doing it at that time, thinking about having something like that. And so kind of interesting. So I'm hoping they'll have some footage on it that I can check out and do some stuff too. And I might do some stuff on my reaction channel from that and everything.
So I had never heard of Run DMC, but I was a huge Aerosmith fan. So when Walk This Way came out, the crossover,
Yeah.
I was astounded. It was a whole new style of music that I had never experienced before. So I got really into it for a while. It was really neat. I loved it.
Yeah, it was interesting when they did the Walk This Way video, going back to some of the days when I was really following music a lot more. At that time, Run DMC, as they were coming up, they pretty much, I don't want to say fully saved, but it was kind of like looked at saving Aerosmith's career, because Aerosmith was on the way down.
You're right.
Oh, yeah, they had messed up a lot.
That was what, late 80s?
Yeah. Well, mid 80s. That was like 85, I think.
I remember.
Or maybe it was a little later.
I remember
when that was huge.
That was
huge. But when they did that
song would come on all the time, and that'd be the only song. And for whatever reason, I woke up and it was like 2:00 in the morning every single night.
Yeah,
put that song on like the mainstream pop or whatever it was, I guess.
Yeah. So here's a funny factoid about that song. So people sometimes wonder, how did you get Run DMC as hip hop artists getting into Aerosmith? Well, one thing about hip hop artists, they pull music from all different genres. When they listen to stuff, and a lot of them have a lot of good background in the different tracks. So Jam Master Jay, R.I.P., used to cut up with Aerosmith, like some of their stuff, and they went through and they sang the sample and kind of did, and to Walk This Way, they would actually do, and they kind of just connected from there. And then the label reached out to them, I guess, about trying to do something, and I think Steve Tyler and Aerosmith were kind of like surprised by it. And Run DMC were kind of like, at one point there was a different version that Run DMC wanted to release, and they're like, no, we're going with this one. They didn't want the guitar in it as much as it was in it, and they were like, no, we're putting the guitar in from Rick Rubin, basically saying, no, this needs to be in here. This is a strong part of it, blah, blah, blah. And anyway, they went ahead and they mashed it out, and it was just like, this thing just took off. But at first, when it first got released, like Run DMC were kind of thinking it wasn't going to take off as well, even though they did Rock Box and they had success off of that and some of the other things. They were kind of worried about it, and it's just like connected. And like a lot of people look at that point where Steve Perry breaks through the walls with the microphone stand as being a wall being broke down between rap and like rock and stuff like that and everything, because it kind of brought the worlds together. And before that, if you were into punk rock like in the 80s and you were into hip hop, there was kind of some similarities that were running between both. Between the kids that kind of had a voice, they didn't know how to get the voice out. And this is the way they could actually do that kind of stuff. And if you listen to a lot of the messaging between both, they were kind of running parallel tracks. And this song kind of caused a conversion between the two. And it kind of just blew up from there. And then you start having them doing stuff like that. You have Public Enemy doing stuff like with the Chili Pepper. Not Chili Peppers, but who is it they did the one with? Now escaping my head. Oh, shoot. I got to look at my thing here. I might be getting hit with the Optimum right now.
I know what you're thinking of.
It's the Bring the Noise track. I'm trying to Anthrax. So you had Public Enemy teaming up with Anthrax. You had these other different groups that were kind of doing stuff. It kind of laid the groundwork where later on you had stuff like Korn that would come out, or some of these other groups that kind of had that little bit of a rap feel to it, but it was kind of more of a harder rock, Limp Bizkit and all stuff. So that video between them, or that song between those two, set a huge precedent of actually opening up the doors for all these other things to happen.
But like I said, I was an Aerosmith fan from way back, and it's funny. They had an album called Get a Grip. It was the first album I had of theirs, and I had the cassette tape. And the cassette tapes had the little fold-out paper with all the lyrics, right? So I was 7 years old, and I had the lyrics laid out, and I had to like hold a little piece of paper and move it down each line to follow, because I couldn't read fast enough to keep up with Steven Tyler's lyrics. So, because he used to sit like Eat the Rich, and there were a lot of songs.
Oh yeah, Eat the Rich.
Fast, and it was almost rap-like. So when I found out about when they did the Run DMC thing and I found out about this other genre of music that was very similar, I got very excited. By the way, me doing that in second grade with the Aerosmith lyrics, first of all, it got me in trouble because I learned a lot of swear words and a lot of words I shouldn't have known. But second of all, it also got me into accelerated reading.
Okay.
So
Okay. There you
Aerosmith improved my reading abilities because he sings too fast.
Words aside, it helps you.
So super fun.
go. Yeah. So shout out to Aubrey, who actually became a new member here on the membership channel. So thank you, my friend. Definitely appreciate you, and welcome to the membership.
Welcome.
Definitely great to have you aboard. And there's certain things that I'm going to be doing for members upcoming here as well. I know last year I got some stuff for Trez there, who's a member, but anybody looking at the membership stuff, check that out in the details as well. But great to have you on board. So stay tuned for that. It's funny, we were talking earlier about the double meaning of things. So the first group that I think that actually happened to me with was probably AC/DC. So like back when I was like 12 or 13, whenever Back in Black came out, I was listening to the radio as a kid, really dug what they were actually doing. That was like the first probably big rock album that I actually really enjoyed, like the songs and all kind of stuff came out there. And I ended up later on in life, kind of, you start to get a click, like, you're 12 at one point listening to it, and then you're like 15 and you're like, wait a second. Kept her motor clean, best damn one. You start listening to this ain't about a car.
Kind of put it together, like.
And so it's funny as you like hear stuff later on, how you get that double meaning of things and how you actually progress into it. So kind of like you saying with the lyrics and stuff, it's kind of funny when you go back and it's like Prince, a Little Red Corvette, as a kid, you're like, Little Red Corvette. And then you're like, listen to it later on, like, this ain't about a Corvette.
Well, there was a point in somewhere around third grade where I was singing the lyrics to a song at school that got me in trouble. I think I said, I have a rip in my pants and a hole in my brand new shoes. I have a margarita nose and a breath full of Mad Dog booze.
Oh.
The teachers were not pleased that I was singing that. And then when I was in high school, I remember walking down the hallway and I was singing to myself, not really thinking about it. And I was singing a song from Poison. And it was the first song that Bret Michaels ever let CeCe DeVille sing. And it was, oh gosh, I hate every bone in your body but mine. I can't wait till I can hate you tonight. So I was singing this in the hallway at school, and that was problematic, apparently. I got in a little bit of trouble for that one. So super fun.
Yeah.
Well, that's a little different than singing Smoking in the Boys' Room, right?
Oh,
So.
yeah. But as a third grader, I was 8 years old when I said I have a margarita nose and a breath full of Mad Dog booze to a teacher. So, yeah, that didn't go over well.
Yeah.
And they were like, they brought my dad in and they talked to him, and he's like, she likes the song. She doesn't know what it means.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know what margarita was. I didn't know what Mad Dog was.
I think I knew what that was later on in life. You're like,
I figured it out later. Yeah. I thought it was freaking hilarious later, but I had no idea. I like the song. Chu made the mistake of bringing me 2 beers, so I need you guys. So the first one is Revolution Brewing Freedom Lemonade, Session Sour Ale with lemons and natural lemon flavors, 4.5 ABV, bright lemon sweetness, refreshing tart finish. So they have their little eagle claw with the lemons, Freedom Lemonade from Revolution.
Okay.
Revolution.
Maplewood Brewing Company. This is Sidewalk Surfer, Double India Pale Ale. This one is with Strata, Mosaic, and Chinook hops. It's an 8% ABV. So Maplewood
you said you're not an IPA.
Well, I was thinking you got to ride with Chew Driver. You might want to do the Freedom just in case. But,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Although technically, I wouldn't lean toward double IPA, but I want you.
I mean, me too. But you said you were an IPA person, so.
Maplewood They kind of rock it. Honestly, I don't have it the West Coast. My face will implode when I drink this kind of thing. This is a little more on the hazy side, so I'm safe with the hazies. But
Well, there you go. Well,
since you're open-
do the hazy.
do the hazy.
Hey,
Wow.
All right.
I'm going to run to the
Seamus,
restroom. I'll let you guys guide it from here while I run to the restroom real quick.
well, I'm ready to go grab me another beer too. Since you're
Oh, we're gonna break
All
everything.
right. Well, Mal's got everything then. She's
Mal,
got it in
hold-
control.
hold it down.
Oh goodness, it's just me. Oh good.
I'll be right back.
Hold on, let me juggle something for the viewers. It'll be fun. Or just pour a beer because I'm going to have a beer.
Whichever.
So welcome to the Mallory Show on Rod J's channel. Super fun. They had to go to the bathroom at the same time, and I shouldn't be able to hear Todd laughing. Where are you peeing? You're right by your kitchen sink, and I hope that's not happening. Guys, what are we going to do with them, really? It's a little terrifying. I know we're a little behind on some comments, but I don't have the ability to bring them up there. Let's see. I missed when what rock band you were listening to mattered. Mattered how, though? Because, like I said, my friends stopped being friends with me for a year because Hanson. So,
No, I didn't go to the bathroom. I just went to grab another beer.
oh, okay, that's better. I thought you were over there
No,
in the bathroom. I was still
It just
hearing
had to be
you.
the same time because I saw you pop one. I was like, okay, I guess I grabbed me another one too.
I mean, I know it's fine with the spouse to leave the door open in the bathroom and stuff, but come on, man, we got live stream going.
So this is what I grabbed. A little something, something.
I do love little something, something.
A little something, something.
Yeah, that's a good one. What's the ABV on that?
7.5. 52 IBUs.
You know, I actually haven't had that in a while. Honestly, Revolution, Goose Island, and some of the local ones, I don't always get around to them, especially when I'm looking at all the little breweries so much.
Honestly, haven't had it either, and it was just in a mix pack that I bought.
Oh, you've never had it?
No, I have, but it's been a while. But I didn't buy it just by itself. It was just in a mix pack that I bought. This is actually the first one of that mix pack that I've actually drank. So,
by the way, the Maplewood Hazy is beautiful. Just putting that out there.
So it was canned on April 26th. So not too terrible.
Sorry, I was like Ace Ventura and nature was calling. Yeah. But I like Aubrey's comment there. I guess what rock band you were listening to, man. So it makes me think back to when I was back in school, and I don't know, I was in school, so high school was 83 to 87 for me. And I don't know if you guys had the same. Well, Todd, you're a little younger than me. Mal's a little younger than you. But we used to have like the notebooks, or you'd have the Trapper John, whatever it may be, or whatever. But you would write like the band names. You would have like people that would write like the bands out there, Queen, Megadeth, Run DMC, whoever it was, and kind of stuff. And it just kind of makes you think, like, because that was like your moniker. Like, this is who you were down with. Like, you had Queensryche, or you had whoever may be, Thompson Twin, whoever may be as your groups you were following. It was kind of cool. It was just one of those things that identified you as a teen. Like, who'd you follow, right? And stuff like that. So
myself and my two best friends have the Aerosmith symbol tattooed.
Oh, really? Okay.
All three of us have it tattooed now.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the episode of
I mean, they got me into accelerated reading after all.
Yeah, right. So what's the one American the guys that do the buying around the country? Franken, it used to be Franken.
Oh, it's not the
American Pickers.
Pickers. I was gonna say, is it the Pickers? Yeah.
They actually had an episode where they got the original van for Aerosmith, and they found it and they redid it, and they actually met with Steve Perry and all the band, Steve Tyler, Joe Perry, all the band, and they were just talking about all the stories they had in that thing, and they were kind of checking it out, and they ended up taking it and Aerosmith ended up getting it from them, and they gave them extra amount for whatever. But they took it and put it in Vegas for the residents, where they were actually performing shows out there to actually have that. It was just that bit of nostalgia
so
stuff.
cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah,
That is so cool.
yeah. But it was kind of cool when you were like in high school, because that was like your, if you, most parents wouldn't let you get tattoos at a young age or whatever. So your books were your tattoo type thing, where you'd have
16.
break stuff down. Mal, stop breaking the thing all the time. Like,
See, Rod, you say I know you're a little bit older than I am, but you and my brother are about the same age. So it's like I grew up with that also.
Yeah.
Through him, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So it's like, you are, but you're not.
yeah. It was just one of those. It was one of those cool things that was just like, here's, kind of like your. There was no social media for you young folks out there back in the 80s, so it was like that was your MySpace page, your notebook.
Right. MySpace.
Oh, MySpace. I wonder if there's still a MySpace page for myself swimming out there in the ether somewhere.
I wonder where Tom's working now.
Because I had a great playlist.
I feel like I heard a couple of years ago, like Justin Timberlake bought MySpace, was trying to amp it up or something. I don't know if he ever did it or if actually ever took off. I never know anybody that uses it.
Yeah, probably the best thing about MySpace is you could have your own intro theme music. So when people came to your page, they knew what you were about, type thing.
Yeah, your playlist would go while they were on your page. It was wonderful. I loved it.
I remember when Shanna first was dating, and she had a MySpace page, and I never did. I never had a MySpace page because that was like the precursor to Facebook, right? So
yeah.
I was like, no, I'm not getting. Like, I don't. What do you want to do with that? Like, I didn't even understand it then. Even then, I was like, no, I'm not. No. She was doing all her, like you said, Rodney, all your music intros.
All your music, all that kind of stuff,
And myself as an angsty teenager, having the black and red background with the roses on the edges and, the poetry and all the things. Oh my gosh, I wish I could see my old MySpace page.
Did you have the Poison, Every Rose Has a Thorn?
Yeah, no, that was Hubby's band. I was...
Okay.
Yeah.
If you couldn't kill at least a six-pack, you were a wuss, right? You had to finish the six-pack back then. There, I was hot doing kicking in. Maybe a little bit. I'm actually.
All right, while he's gone, I grabbed this one.
Oh, a little something. There you go, Lagunitas.
Now I'm wondering if Rod J has a swimming pool. He's been practicing his water polo when he has a little too much optimum.
I don't have.
Would be better if you had actually.
I'm actually gonna crack open the one that Trez had sent me before. I was gonna do a review, but at this point, I'm gonna crack it open and enjoy it. Black Ops from Brooklyn. So
why not?
I mean, it's 11.5, so a nice session ale before bed.
Right. If nothing else, you'll sleep good tonight.
Pariah beers. Yeah, I'll have to check out. If I get some stuff, I can definitely let you know, Bill. I haven't been over there yet. He was one of the first brewers. I went to the beer fest last year that actually knew who I was when I came in. He was like, he knew the channel and stuff, which was kind of interesting. So it's kind of nice too, being able to come to a new area and people know who you are, type thing. I just haven't gotten over there.
Rod, why quit acting like you're surprised? Why are you
I'm always surprised when people know who I am and stuff.
I'm just kidding.
All right, boys, it's my turn for a potty break, so I'm leaving you alone for a moment.
Okay.
Well, I haven't been on one yet, so just saying. Not yet. I'm ready to, though.
But a couple of new Hot Wheels cars. He says Corvette, DeLorean DMC. I couldn't resist. Very good. I actually have a few Hot Wheels around here. I think one of them is like the old Roadrunner, and I have a couple other ones. My wife, I got them as a thing at work one time, and we both like muscle cars, so she gave it to me.
I still have my collection of Hot Wheels from when I was a little bitty kid.
Oh, really?
Yes. I still got the Hot Wheels, and I still have my whole collection of Star Wars action figures, whatever, when I was a kid.
But you opened them, right? Like they're not still
they're in a box, but they're not in the actual package.
Do you have the Hot Wheels tracks or just the cars?
Nah, just the cars.
Cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember the tracks though, but that was I didn't have none of those.
Yeah, you didn't want to get in trouble with the tracks around. I mean,
no.
some parents will grab one of those. The belt was too far away. The tracks are right there. Yeah, you did not want that. Yeah.
I remember my brother used to have, which you might remember those. Do you remember the take on it was the motorcycle guy that would jump the canyons and stuff.
Oh, Evil Knievel.
Evil
Oh yeah.
Knievel.
Oh,
Did
I
you
had
ever
the.
have the Evil
Well,
Knievel where you wound
hell
up and you
yeah,
just go
baby.
darting, like taking off,
Yeah.
doing wheelies or whatever across the floor? Yes.
When I was a,
Those I remember growing up as a kid. I was like, oh, these things are awesome.
I think when I was like, this was when I was a little kid, and we were living at a different spot up in New Jersey. I think I might have been 4 or 5, and I got that for Christmas with the wind up. And we had like lived up. We were like, you came into our apartment and was upstairs. So I would just from the top of the steps, I'd race the baby across and have him jump like through the steps and stuff, run down there, pick him up, bring him back up, do it again, And it was just like at some point I sort of got on my mom's nerves, but that was like the coolest thing to actually have was like that Evil Knievel type thing. He was
And
so
also
huge.
I also remember he had these great big action. They remind me of G.I. Joe, but they're like big size.
They did have big G.I. Joe figures.
Yeah, but I think it was called like it wasn't G.I. Joe, but it was something. I think it was like Big John or Big Jim or something like that. Do you remember those?
I think I walked into the wrong part of this conversation.
Big action figures.
I remember the big G.I. Joes because they had the Kung Fu grip that we talked about back then. And
Yeah,
stuff.
no, I remember those. But
Well, the G.I. Joes were 11.5-inch tall. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe that was but they weren't called G.I. Joes.
Now back then we also had said the Lionel train sets were big too, so we'd have a lot of train sets and stuff. And,
I had all the He-Man figurines. I loved that.
Oh, I do have those also, Mel.
Yeah.
I have He-Man also.
And the California Raisins.
By the power of
Little bendy
Grayskull.
legs.
Yes, by the power of Grayskull.
Yeah.
They have the power.
I was thinking the cartoon with Skeletor would always run away at the end. Like
I had He-Man and I had She-Ra.
Like big pussy. What are you doing?
Thundercats too. The Thundercats as well.
Thundercats. They were supposed to make a Thundercats movie, but I don't know if they're still doing it or not. Like in real action movie.
If I don't have to work early on a Saturday, Chew and I will usually watch one episode of the old Thundercats cartoon. Saturday morning cartoons. We still do that.
I remember. I never really watched Thundercats, but I remember a friend of mine.
What did you just say?
Oh,
you never watched the Thundercats?
No. I wasn't a big fan. I didn't watch.
You weren't a fan of the Thundercats? Are you kidding me?
But a friend of mine. Anyway, let me finish my story, Rod. Guy. How do you know about all those things?
You're officially out of the Miller High Life.
I don't know how you work back. I don't know how you work back from that. I'm just saying.
All right, gotta go. Good night, guys. But anyway, so no, I used to go to my friend's house because he had all the Thundercats, play figurines stuff. But I remember during the shows they had like flashing things, and you could like broadcast your whatever it was, the guns or whatever. I remember it had something to do with the action figures of them.
In Thundercats?
Yes.
They didn't have guns.
Yeah, they did. Panthero had a gun.
Yeah, they had the playset had guns for sure.
Yeah, they had some
kind
guns.
of deal where it would have like a flashing thing, and you could like I don't remember what.
I think Lionel had like a bow, but I think Panthero had like 2 guns on him. But I think he had nunchucks too.
I could be wrong.
No, Chitara had the bow.
Chitara had a staff.
Staff. I say bow. I meant staff. Yeah.
Panthro had the nunchucks, or no?
Yeah, I think he had nunchucks, but I think he had a gun too.
And Tigra had a whip that made him invisible.
But I feel like even back then there was some sort of interactive thing with the figurines and the play, like the figures or whatever. That when you watch the shows, there was something that flashed or something. I don't remember. I don't remember. I mean, it was a long time ago. So.
Well, I know that they got the Voltron beer that was coming out. I would love to try to get my hands on that because Voltron back in the day was the cartoon to watch for sure. That was another one that was like when they all come together and they form Voltron. It was like it's on, bitches. It's on because Voltron's out now.
And then the Power Rangers came and Sailor Moon and yeah.
But I used to be a big Ultraman fan too back in the day too. So
my cousin We know my cousin Pat used to play on Call of Duty with us.
Yeah.
He was a big Ultraman.
Ultraman was this shit. And I remember one episode he came out there. He went to go like Ultraman, and he had to put a thing up, and it was like a fork. He had the wrong thing. He had to go back in and get it or whatever. But yeah, Ultraman was popular. Johnny Sacco, Giant Robot, that was pretty big. I always like wanted a watch you could talk into and then call Giant Robot, which is weird because now we have watches we could talk into with the iPhone watches and stuff. It's just like, and it's like our cell phones, our first flip phones were like Star Trek communicators.
Rod J, how often are you calling the big robot on your phone or on your watch?
I would love to be giant robot. It'd be great to have a giant robot at your disposal. If you had a giant robot at your disposal, what could you do? You could do anything. Anything.
I could carry the darn kegs at work. They weigh the same as me. I can't lift them.
Yeah. So.
By the way, kegs.
I'm still a kid. Yeah, they can still be. I bartended. I know they can still be heavy. Again, shout out to Trez who sent me the Black Ops that I'm actually enjoying now. So this is nice barrel aged stout, 11.5, and it was a limited release. So if you see it out there, go ahead and get it. Have here. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, I kind of mixed it up before I went to Chicago last week. I was kind of debating: do I go with the goatee? Do I drop it to just the mustache? With the mustache, a little patch right here. Kind of just. I tried different looks. Right now, like
Charlie Chaplin.
Oh, that'd be Charlie Chaplin. I feel like that'd be too close to Hitler if I did a Charlie Chaplin type thing.
No. It's just Charlie Chaplin. Don't worry about it. No one's ever going to think Hitler. It's always they're going to think Charlie Chaplin first.
Rod's going,
I don't know. That'd be the case. Yeah.
How's it going? I ain't seen you forever.
Yeah. I am here for the meeting. Yeah. They're like, Rod, you changed.
Yeah. You're right. What the hell is going on here?
But you have to make it your own. Do the Charlie Chaplin and have a little soul patch.
Maybe.
Charlie Chaplin with a soul patch. You're safe.
I thought about the beard, no sideburns, and no mustache, how that would go across. So I tried to mix
just the chops.
Just the chops. Right now, Cincinnati, they're asking when I come in August for the office thing, what do I want to have for the facial thing? I haven't decided yet. Last year I came in, I had everything shaved. They're like, we were not expecting that. We were expecting to see something.
Wait.
Beard to go to.
Like, stay tuned.
Up here.
Okay.
Come on now.
Sorry, I apologize.
I have not visited Brazil. Actual Army quotes, she pissed off now, but give her the Robobone tomorrow. The Robitussin.
My God.
Until 87, Tone Loc rebooted America with the Funky Cold Medina. Yeah, I actually had that in when Tone Loc came out with Wild Thing. I actually have that on vinyl. That was like one of the records back in college that I got at the time.
See, Funky Cold Medina is also one of those like, oh, this is so good, but you actually know what it's about. It's like, this is not good at all.
Looks at every Run DMC song. Really? Okay. All right.
Every?
They've had a lot of songs, but Run DMC was that trend-setting thing, and it's funny. DMC was just so modest. Like when he was on the interview today, he's like, "I'm not a founder. I'm not a pioneer." He said, "I'm just a participant in hip hop." It's just kind of like he's bigger than that, but he's not going to say he's bigger. It's kind of like when I see people talk about LeBron being the greatest, right? I'm like, if you got to tell people you're the greatest, you're not the greatest.
Then you're not. Yeah.
Yeah, because people will sing your virtue of what you've done with that
Twitter handle, LeBron the greatest.
Yeah. So kind of like watching DMC doing that interview was just like, even now, he's still just so humble and everything,
Yeah.
And that is so true. Like, if you got to tell everybody you're the greatest, then chances are, no, you're not.
No, the Beastie Boys as well. And Beastie Boys, like, they've got a spot there in the Hall of Fame. They're showing kind of their display this morning. And so the Beastie Boys were kind of interesting. Beastie Boys, actually, when they first started out as a punk group before going to hip hop. And then when they went to hip hop, they were kind of like not really taken as seriously when they basically went over to sign with Def Jam and had to really hone their craft in. And then they kind of just were able to do that. Rick Rubin got behind them with Russell Simmons, and obviously became history of what they actually did and stuff. But it's just like, if you've got that flow, you can come from anywhere. And the Beastie Boys, I remember License to Ill came out, and it was just like, who are these guys, right? And it was like we were playing Paul Revere, we were playing Posse in Effect, we were playing Fight for Your Party, we were playing all these different things. And you talk about double meaning. So if you ever see the album cover of License to Ill, you look at it, you think it's like a plane crash or whatever, right? No. If you have the vinyl, you got to open the whole album up. And it gives you more of the full view, the full Monty, so to speak, of what it actually is on the image, which is hilarious. But that was the Beastie Boys kind of humor there. But Beastie Boys are legends.
I remember when that album came out and they started.
R.I.P. MCA. Yeah.
I think I was maybe in 8th grade, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I couldn't go. I wasn't able to go to the concert, whatever. And everybody, it was over the weekend. Come back on Monday talking about, it's like, oh, they had a great big ass penis blowed up on the stage. I was like, yeah, of course they did. Yes. Why not?
I mean, that first album, She's Crafty. Yeah. Got No Sleep Till Brooklyn. I could just think of all those. I actually got it in vinyl in the other room and just playing that record and just hearing stuff. And one of their records, I think it wasn't No Sleep Till Brooklyn. It was another one they had on that album. Was initially a Run DMC song that they didn't want to do. So the Beasties asked if they could perform it. It became one of their hits and stuff. So the flow they actually had and them kind of coming in doing it, because up to that point, you think of hip hop, you thought of all the black artists. You had a few Latino artists that were doing it, but it was mainly black. And then the Beastie Boys were there. And you're like, who are these, white guys actually on here doing this? And it was just like, they just fell right in. And it was just like, they're down, and it's like, that opened the door for them. That led to Third Base actually doing their stuff. It led to Everlast doing his stuff before House of Pain. Then he did that stuff with them. And it was just like, it showed that the music can flow from anywhere if you've got that rhythm, you got that beat,
right.
Be accepted there. So,
and even like in the later years for the Beastie Boys, like they kind of changed their. I mean, they still had the same kind of sound, but they were more like. I feel like they kind of went more towards the heavy metal-ish sort of.
They had some of that. I mean, that was part of their traits. That was part of the stuff for the rock part of them. I mean, DMC, for Run DMC, DMC was a big rock fan. He listened to Aerosmith.
Oh, yeah.
He would listen to Metallica. He listened to all these different rock groups back then. And so that's why you have that influence of guitars and stuff that they have in some of their stuff. But you look at what the Beastie Boys had done, just incredible along those lines, what they were actually able to bring on an airflow. But I tell people, back when in the 80s, when I was in college and stuff, before I was DJing and stuff, but one of the most underrated rap albums ever done, I think is underappreciated, is the Beastie Boys' Paul's Boutique. That's a classic artwork that was actually done by the Beastie Boys.
I agree.
If you listen to that, and you listen to that from front to back, just a masterpiece of songs. And I think sometimes that gets missed because, like you said, they did change their sound a little bit, but it's a great masterpiece of what they did with that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I can pick up Paul's Boutique and listen to it at any point, anytime, and still enjoy it.
I mean, they kind of just had their own sound.
Yeah.
Sort of like hip. I don't know. Like it's kind of hard to really put them in a genre, sort of.
Yeah, I mean, they were definitely
more rap sort of than anything, but it's still kind of like its own sound even then. You know what I mean? Like,
well, it was funny because when you think of the Beastie Boys, and like one of the stations in Cincinnati was WEBN, which is a rock station, and they would play like "Party for Your Right to Fight" and stuff, and then occasionally they'll play Paul Revere and everything. It's like, you're a rock station. They didn't even realize. I mean, you're playing basically a rap song on rock, and they would say no rap. They don't realize that's actually a rap song. They're actually playing there because they would just think Beastie Boys, three white guys from New York or whatever. But yeah, and they had that great flow that went with them that just, brought it in. I was watching one of the videos the other day, and it was Posse in Effect. They were performing it like at one of the Hip Hop Honor Awards, and just like the crowd just vibing to it. And it's still a great song to just listen to, and it's just like, I feel like if you're in a party and that comes on, you're just like, yeah, we're taking it to the next level.
Oh, right.
Yeah. It just gets you hyped every time you hear it. So, yeah. Back in Black, first mainstream song I learned the drums. Oh, very nice. Yeah. Yeah, that when I was listening, it was a station in Philadelphia called, I think it was WMMR when I was a kid, and it was like the premiere of ACDC Back in Black, and I heard that, and just the thing that got me, because I used to go as a kid to the library listen to music, and the rhythms would actually draw me in, and just the way they had the rhythm set in that song, and then he came in with the lyrics with the higher pitch and stuff. It just meshed well on the stuff, and then I got kind of into ACDC from that point. I mean, I can still watch like what's the Stephen King movie we talk about once in a while with the trucks and stuff. Maximum Overdrive.
Oh.
The whole soundtrack was ACDC, and it's just like I could almost like just listen to the soundtrack. I didn't even care about what's going on in the movie because I just love that album was just a solid album they did for it. So spoiled with Creep in Chicago. I often forget about Revolution. Can't forget about Revolution. I did have a few Revolution at the hotel when I was in last week, and at the airport.
Revolution solid.
Yeah.
2 miles away. Yeah, I had the hazy IPA and I had the anti-hero IPA when I was in town. Had to sober up the IPAs. I mean, a little buzz. So I went down to Michelob water beer.
It happens.
I gotta get back on it. No, I couldn't have helped with content with the boys, Pete, but I don't have your cell to text you.
You know perfectly well I can't just announce my cell phone number on here when he's going to put it on YouTube and like his podcast and all this stuff. I can't do that. I don't have a way to give you my number right now.
It'd be like Jenny 777. Was it? Jenny, I got you. No, 777 93. No, that's not it. That's the time was
75309.
That's what I was great.
Like, yeah, the time. See, the time, Morris Day and the Time had a song, and it was like 777 9311 was another number they put out there. So, yeah. Put out people's phone numbers. Yeah, they could be in trouble. Joe Strummer legendary pissing in the movie Mystery Train. Van Halen symbol all over my folders. Yeah, Van Halen was very popular back in the day on a lot of stuff. And you think back to when Eddie was on the Michael Jackson Beat It video, like, that was another kind of a crossover type thing because people that are watching Michael Jackson didn't know Van Halen. They're like, who's this guy playing guitar here? And I kind of got hooked into some of the Van Halen stuff. But many times as a little kid, Hot for Teacher would come on MTV and I'd be like, oh, I like this video. I got it bad. Hot for Teacher.
Yep.
Steve
When I
Perry.
became a teacher, I heard that song.
Yeah, Steve Perry is Journey. Yeah, I was between Steve Tyler and Joe Perry, but yeah, Steve Perry is Journey. Well, it used to be Journey. Now they got a new lead singer.
Right.
Which that's another song. Because every time I hear "Don't Stop Believing," now I think of The Sopranos.
Oh my gosh.
Because it links right back to the last episode every time. Like every time I hear it come on the radio, it makes me think back to The Sopranos.
So, the beginning of the song is just a
small town boy
born and
growing
raised
up in South Detroit. Yeah.
So, first of all, every time that song comes on, every wedding, it happens all the time, right? You hear that song. That line, born and raised in South Detroit, my husband screams.
It happens. It belts it out, right? Yeah.
Screams that line. Just that line.
Oh, just that line.
And then he follows it up by turning to me. He
Yeah.
follows that up by turning to me and saying, there's not really a South Detroit. That's Windsor, Canada. Every time. I understand that Windsor, Canada is south of Detroit. He grew up on 9 Mile in the town that he was in. I said it was Windsor before, but it wasn't Windsor. It starts with a W, but I can't remember. But he grew up on 9 Mile, and he screams that line as loud as he can, and then turns to me and reminds me that Canada is south of Detroit. I'm like, okay, I got it.
I feel like
understand.
if there are two songs that have like open the lines where people feel encouraged to jump in, one is "Don't Stop Believing" with Journey, and the other one I feel is like Bon Jovi, "Living on a Prayer."
Sweet Caroline.
Well, not just to start into it though.
Yeah.
Like Tommy worked down in the docks. Like I feel like maybe because they grew up in Jersey, everybody like starts off singing whenever that it starts do 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 do. Tommy worked down on the like everybody. Yeah, so it's kind of
But
like
I'm sorry, when
yeah.
Sweet Caroline comes on, Sweet Caroline,
But
ba, ba, ba,
But-
people have to wait for that part.
It depends.
They
It
do.
depends
They do.
on if you're a Yankees fan or a Boston fan. See, my
Yeah.
brother's a Yankees fan, and he hates that song because they play it every night in Boston for that reason. He's like, I hate that song.
Well, see, being in
the song, it just has to do it because Boston plays it all the time. So
being in college in the 80s, you found out that Money Money had an extra verse to it that you weren't aware of before. So with the Billy Idol, like Money Money, it's like, hey, get laid, get
Yeah,
like,
right.
you're like, whoa, is
yeah.
that part of the song? I didn't know that's part of the song. Let's do it again.
It's impromptu. Like, just do it.
Yeah.
Just do- yeah.
The reminiscent. If you wanted to be really kick-ass, you cover books with a poster.
Oh yeah. Instead of using the brown paper or whatever, the
Yeah.
poster was the better choice.
I remember that when they gave us books, they were like, you could bring it back in a book cover. Like, why do we got to do a book cover? Why don't you give us a book cover?
Yeah, right.
You know, you're making us do work. You know, people come
Quit
out
making us do all
their
the work
brown
for
bag
you.
cover or whatever. But in a way, you were able to identify yourself. It was kind of a little strategy to make you become self-identifying. I guess.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah. Don't stop breathing.
No, Bervieving.
Breathing.
Don't stop Bervieving.
Come on, Paul.
Don't stop Bervieving. I love it. I love it.
I do
100%
remember
love it.
Live Journal as well. I did have a Live Journal account. I didn't do much with it, but I did have one of those too.
Yeah, I didn't have that.
Cheers, EB in the house. Cheers, homie.
Hi.
EB.
Something. My go-to in restaurants. There you
Fair
go.
enough.
If it's on tap there. So, but Big Daddy's in Illinois, so he has Lagunitas
Yeah.
spots. Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Something's
Perfect
just
coming
so
right
good.
there. That's what I love about MySpace, the kick-ass intro. Right in your page, it was like, I think I had like at one point, like Welcome to the Terror Dome might have been one of my intros, like songs that I had on my MySpace page. Welcome to the Terror Dome, like Chuck D coming in with the
But first, you had to get past the dial-up.
Yeah. It's like, Mom, I'm on the computer right now. Yeah.
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 Kick me off. What are you doing?
Yeah. And for you youngsters, I don't remember what the dial-up sounded like.
It's awful. Don't. Why are you doing this to us?
Yes. Hold on. I'm
Hold
trying
on,
to-
it's coming. It's coming. You're almost
I'm
there.
not ready. I'm close.
You're almost there. It's coming.
Like right there. Somebody puts that phone and like, shit. I got
Why would you do that? Why would you do that to human beings now?
And then you're doing something, somebody gets on, like, Mom, I'm on the computer right now. Yeah.
Well, the phone's ringing.
They're like,
You've
damn
got
it,
mail.
I got to do it again now,
You
right?
got mail.
You got
You
mail.
got mail.
Shannon's good friend still actually uses AOL. I was like, is that actually still a thing?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
still have an AOL account too.
Do you really?
Well, okay, so when you go to stores and they ask for your email for like their marketing
Oh,
things,
yeah.
Evil
So
Knievel
you-
motorcycle.
I've worked retail and I know that people get points for how many people they can get to give their emails. So I will actually do that to help out whoever's helping me. But I give them my AOL address that I don't use
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
So I give that as the kind of catch-all for all that stuff that I don't care about. But I always try to help out the person working because I know they probably have numbers and things they have to reach or whatever. So
I feel
that's
like
just a customer service thing. I don't know.
I feel like if
Right.
you gave me like your AOL thing, I'd be like, you don't look that old. Like,
Yeah, but you're not being serious right now, are you? Like, you're making that up.
Yep. Loving the AOL.
Come
stuff
on,
for
EB.
my,
I just
I-
for my spam.
said I never really watched
I agree with EP.
Yeah, we're gonna have to send a private investigator over there on Todd. I'm a little concerned.
Oh, Johnny Quest back in the day. I remember Johnny
Oh,
Quest
yeah.
as well. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't say I didn't like them. I just said I never really watched them.
I don't
Is a red flag.
I don't think Mal.
Maybe, I guess.
I
But
don't
I'm
think
not a serial killer. I don't think.
I don't think Mal was here tonight. We had the Super Friends debate as well.
No, I wasn't.
We talked about Super Friends, and we talked about used to watch Super Friends. Hall of Justice back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm aware of it. Was not one of my things. I never liked superheroes. I like the villains better.
Maybe you're a serial killer.
No, I love. Well, yes, I am, but that has.
Yes, I am. Okay.
But
if you ever watched it, you'd have to wonder, why did Superman always fly with Wonder Woman in the invisible jet? Because Superman could fly, and Batman and Robin always had to drive, and there's no way a car could keep up with the plane, but yet they would get to the same spot. It's just like, what was going on behind the clouds? Because apparently they had to pull over at some points. If Batman and them caught up with them, they stopped along the way somewhere.
Well, she just should have hooked up the jet to him because he could fly faster. He could reverse time flying fast.
I mean,
so why not just hook up to him and then he pulls the jet?
Wrong way, also, but
I'm just gonna say the cockpit may have been more than just the cockpit. That's all I'm saying.
cockpit.
That's all I'm saying.
Thank you, Todd. Spelling it out. I love it.
What's up, EB? Hell yeah, for Aubrey.
No, hold up.
Voltron, precursor to Mighty Morphin. Yeah, I want the Voltron beer.
No, hold up. You're making the jokes about the cockpit. Are you kidding? They were both wearing tights. Nothing was frickin' happening. All those times, no.
You don't know about that.
Not many tights. Nothing's happening.
Wonder Woman didn't have tights on. She just had her.
Always wore nylons under those.
Oh wait, you're talking about Superman and Wonder Woman. Yeah. I was thinking about Batman and Robin.
Well, that had tights too, so there probably wasn't a whole lot happening there either.
I think Todd's confusing Batman and Robin an ambiguously gay duo that would be on Sign That Line.
I love that.
I'm pretty sure that's where that came from. I'm pretty sure.
I'm feeling a super strong flu over here.
What's everybody?
So good. That was so good.
What's everybody looking at?
Wait, which movie?
I agree, Paul.
On Batman, which movie gave him? It was the Clooney one, right? The Clooney one.
Do you not have it on the other ones?
Nipples, right?
Was it not on the other ones? On Michael Keaton?
No, they didn't have nipples. It was the George Clooney one. They put nipples on his costume. Otherwise, nobody else had them.
He's penetrating armor. Yeah.
It must have been cold in there.
Yeah.
Wait, did he fight Mr. Freeze? Or
he did go against
what time of year is this?
Yeah.
It was Mr. Freeze, right?
Yeah. Voltron was for sure. Yeah. I like Matchbox cars from UK as much as Hot Wheels.
I had Matchbox also.
Yeah. Go Gadget. Yeah, Trez, thank you, my friend. Definitely a nice, smooth beer from Brooklyn. Brooklyn always got some good stuff there.
Oh, Paul.
He-Man was a favorite of mine versus Thundercats.
Yeah.
Me too, Aubrey. I agree with that. I always like He-Man also besides.
Has anyone watched the new one?
The new He-Man? There's a new one?
Yeah, there's a new one.
Oh,
where
really?
he's like a 14-year-old boy or whatever, and it's
like a prequel?
Yeah, it's supposedly a standalone, but
would it be like He-Boy?
Universe.
He-Boy?
But you and I have checked it out. It's interesting.
He may be a little too insensitive.
When he says the thing, he turns into the big guy, and otherwise he's a 14-year-old boy, and it's like really strange.
I feel like we got that with Shazam enough nowadays.
You're right.
Aubrey, check out the new He-Man. It's different.
It's a ruin that style forever. I got the mustache.
He was just trying to be likable. He's like, Charlie Chaplin's likable. I can do that. Bam. Got it.
You feel like Hitler had a bad day at the barber and it kind of just stuck.
it was a bad day.
He was really wanting to grow back, and people were like Don King's haircut. Like, you got to keep it. You got to keep it. That's you now.
That's why Hitler did it, because Charlie Chaplin was so likable. He's like, this is going to help me be likable, so I'm going to do this. That's what he did. It was so.
Hitler's right. Like, I want to really
super
start.
likable. I have the mustache. I'm going to kill half the world, but I'm super likable.
I mean, part of Hitler's pain might have been he wanted to start over with his mustache, and nobody would let him.
Actually, I think it's because he couldn't make it as a painter, but that's cool. You know, he was an artist first, right?
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
he was an artist. He did all these landscapes and stuff, and he was like, "What's my favorite comedian is Eddie Izzard, and sorry, Susie Eddie Izzard now, but he was like." Doing this thing about Hitler, and he's like, I can't get the trees down, I will kill everyone in the world. So that was the explanation. You know, he was also a vegetarian. Did you know that Hitler was a vegetarian?
I did not know that.
Yes.
You don't have any meat in your life, you might have issues. I'm just saying. Gotta get that meat, get that protein, you know. Like people that say, oh, I'm a vegan. It tastes just like regular. Like, no, it doesn't. Apparently, you've been chewing a lot of rocks and stones lately because it does not taste like regular meat.
Yeah, right.
Like, oh.
Like, yeah.
Try this bark jerky. What? Bark jerky? For some reason on the form. Lucius Jackson. Oh, okay. In the 90s. Nice. Paul, you're hilarious.
Sorry.
Thank you. Paul, take a bow. Paul's like, thank you very much.
Yeah, Paul, take a bow.
Yeah. Yeah. He says, now put the lotion in the basket. So Hot Wheels are the best ever. Yeah, like I said, Hot Wheels are good. Just don't leave the track around if you get in trouble as a kid.
That's true.
Yeah. Kate Schellenbach.
I have no idea what that means.
So in 10 days only have a half beer. Yay me. Really?
Huh.
Are you doing something different there?
Well, that sounds like wasting beer.
I know, right?
Yeah. Matchbox cars have better, smaller details, but Hot Wheels were built for speed. They're going to distance.
Oh, yeah.
Nolly, what is your fave of all your times? Fave of what?
Well, so if you look at the next one, I actually messaged back saying,
favorite what? Beer, music, moment? Like, you know.
I'm not sure exactly what the question was.
Just a little specificity.
Yeah.
Specificity.
My favorite of all times is Purple Hippos, in answer to your question.
Purple Hippos for what?
Well, just Purple Hippos. I'm not
for music or for beer or for...
No. She said, what's my favorite of all my times? I'm saying Purple Hippos. I've decided on my answer.
BC was live at Glasgow.
McDonald's answer there.
He's finding cassette tape in the parking of Walmart. Dana Dane with fame. Oh yeah, I remember. Of course, I remember Dana Dane. I think I got that on vinyl as well. Maximum Overdrive. Great. I say great movie. It's really just a good movie. Back then, it felt better than it actually is now when you watch the technology. But I mean, Emilio Estevez can only take you so far. So let's just be honest. I mean, he never hit that pinnacle from Young Guns after that point. You know, it's kind of like Billy the Kid was his high point, right? Well, we'll give him Breakfast Club. He was pretty good as a wrestler in Breakfast Club. So, Plus Night soundtrack was done by Anthrax. There you go. Bobby Brown has a very good success. Well, you got Whitney Houston too. So yeah, he did all right for himself. It's his prerogative, though. You know, whatever you want to do.
You're right.
When he played on Beat Van Halen, no recording outside the band clause. He said he did on the break. He said nobody's going to hear his Black Kids record. Jokes on him. Yeah, I didn't know anything about that. I know that when he did it, it was kind of like, you know, it blew up for him off the Jackson song. I mean, Van Halen was already big too, but that added more of a fan base to what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Remember when CompuServe AOL changed you by the hour? Yeah, charged you by the hour. Yeah, CompuServe. Yeah. AOL, GeoCities, Angel Firefly. Oh my God. Yeah. Freaking GeoCities. I remember dealing with that there. Yeah. They had underwear tights and they were super people. I'm sure the cockpit was a double entendre in that, right? There's all this kind of stuff that was just happening there. I tell you, like I mentioned before in the show, like now being when I was older, I tried to go back and watch Speed Racer one time from when I watched it as a kid.
Oh, Speed Racer! Wow.
I'm like, they must have been
We're
tripping
going
ass
to
when they
go
put this
now.
cartoon. Yeah, it's like everybody's kind of high when you look at it at that point when you're older. It's like everybody was tripping on this show. Yeah. Superman 3, Richard Pryor was all. Yeah,
Oh,
Richard Pryor laid the foundation for Office Space, right? Like with the whole
I
idea
love
of
Richard
taking the
Pryor.
money. Yeah. Nobody counts the Clooney Batman movie for anything other than the soundtracks.
And the nipples.
Well, who was the worst
And then-
Batman? Two of the Batmen are seen as being the worst have been
Ben
Clooney.
Affleck?
No, actually, people like
Clooney, the more
Affleck.
recent one.
It was
Really?
it was more Clooney and Kilmer. Like who were the two worst?
Oh,
Clooney
yeah.
and Kilmer.
Okay. Val Kilmer had this the sex factor though. He had that he was sexy.
You say Clooney wasn't sexy?
I'm-
You didn't think Clooney
no,
was sexy?
Clooney's
Because
gross to me. I
people
never
love
liked
Clooney on the
But
ER.
I always thought Ben Affleck was always one of the worst ones. Also,
Affleck surprised as being Batman. I thought he actually did a decent job, better than I thought he was going to do.
I liked the guy who was the oh gosh, he before Affleck.
Oh, Christian Bale in The Dark Knight.
Yes, I liked
Yeah, he was good as The
Bale.
Dark
I
Knight,
thought
but that
he
was a
was
different type
good.
of Batman, though.
you
And
were
honestly, the first was
And actually, Robert Pattinson actually delivered as the Batman on his thing that he's doing. Is a different type of Batman too.
the first was Michael Keaton though, right?
Yeah, Michael Keaton was one of my favorites to do it. He's
Oh,
back in
Phenomenal. He was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
He was so good.
he's back in the Flash movie as Batman because they're having universes like
Yeah.
cross and everything. So yeah, Michael Keaton's always been a good actor though.
Actually, the soundtrack for the Clooney one was excellent. That was with Uma Thurman and Mr. Freeze. That was what's his face, Governor
Arnold
guy.
Schwarzenegger.
one.
But
Yeah.
Keaton had Prince for the soundtrack.
But the soundtrack
Oh,
was
yeah, right,
excellent.
yeah.
for
When
that.
Keaton had Prince on his soundtrack when he did it with Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat Prince. I mean,
true.
Well, Keaton, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Jack Nicholson. I mean, it's hard to go wrong, right?
yeah. Well, first one was Keaton and Kim Basinger.
Mm,
Oh yeah,
Right.
right.
you're right. Kim Basinger.
Nine and a half weeks. Let me see. I think Kim Basinger. I think 9.5 weeks. Yeah.
I mean, who does?
That brings back memories from school. Yeah. Yeah.
So, which Batman was Michelle Pfeiffer with?
She was with. She might have been. I think she was with Keaton in the second one.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
Okay.
was the second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the guy who played the Penguin.
Danny DeVito.
Dan
Thank
DeVito.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm terrible with actor names, by the way.
Yeah. No comment. Return on my Bobby Brown 1980s. Well, damn, no one wants to go. But Bobby Brown did all right. Who said he did all right? We just took a while for us to get there. Unless there's no comments you're talking about from the people in the chat or whatever. But yeah, we know about the Ghostbusters. You know, he picked it up from Ray Parker Jr. when he did it in the first one. Who are you
I
going to
ain't scared of
call?
no ghosts.
Ghostbusters.
See, that's
Although I felt like you could have used Rockwell. I feel like someone's watching me. I feel like that would have been good for Ghostbusters too.
Yeah, though that would have been
I feel like
would've worked.
this song should have come up last time when my phone kept playing music when I wasn't touching it.
Yeah. That was kind of weird when that happened.
That was really strange.
The new He-Man has one Kevin Smith misstep. No thanks. Oh, EB's not on board with the new He-Man there. I didn't know Kevin Smith did that. Kevin Smith's big in the comics and stuff.
By the way, I work in a haunted brewery apparently.
Really? Anything happened? Anything freaky or anything?
A couple things so far. I saw a child running in the space and turned, and there was no child there, and never heard a sound. Footsteps. I hear footsteps all the damn time. When I'm opening, closing by myself, I hear
Yeah.
footsteps all the time. I haven't seen like stuff moving or anything like that, but I had one of the owners in and the chef from Two Doors Down, and I was chatting with them.
Got 3 doors
Yeah.
down.
I was gonna say, wait a minute. You talk about 3 doors down?
No. Our kitchen's actually a separate space. So
Yeah.
the kitchen's 2 doors there's a barber shop and then there's our kitchen.
Yeah.
So we have to walk over there to get the food and bring it back.
Wow.
So either way, so we have the chef and we have the owner there, and I'm chatting with them. All three of us are far from the end of the bar, but a bell rang at the end of the bar, and it's one of those, like hotel bells, like those. And it rang, and none of us was close enough to touch it, and it was really weird. So yeah, there's been a few things.
So you actually saw the kid?
Out of the corner of my eye, I saw a child running up one side of the brewery. As I was walking this way, I saw a kid running, and I turned, and then there was no kid. Yeah. So definitely a couple weird things at the brewery that I work at. I've noticed the footsteps are nonstop. It's just ridiculous.
So what's the story behind that? Do you know?
No. The place used to be a post office for a really long time. It's been other things since it was a post office. It was a tea shop. It was a couple other things. Actually, the Billy Corgan.
Oh yeah, Billy Corgan from
he owned the tea shop.
Yeah,
he owned the tea shop that turned into the brewery. He lives in the town, so
that's pretty cool.
Lives there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was his tea shop, and then it was the brewery. But before that, it was a post office for a really long time. I don't know what it was before that. But, the chef said that he's heard kids, and I'll hear kids laughing sometimes when there's no kids in the place, stuff like that.
That'd be kind of interesting.
I work in a haunted brewery, so that's kind of fun.
No,
thanks for getting Smashing Pumpkin stuck in my head now. By the way,
sorry. Every once in a while,
1984. Yeah.
Every once in a while we get an order for food, and it's Billy C, and we know who it is. It's just
And JT said Eddie's coming to Chicago in October, by the way.
He's coming in October, but before that, he's going to be up in Madison, I think. And I'd rather see him in Madison because I don't want to go to the Chicago theater in Chicago because the traffic is a nightmare.
Traffic is a mess down there, especially with construction and stuff, too. And
we'll probably go see in Madison or Milwaukee. He's at one of those. But yeah I'm going to go see him again.
Shout out to Mark. Thank you, sir, for the super chat. Appreciate you. Yeah, we every Thursday night get together and we do beer stuff, but we also have some fun talking about some other things too. So definitely great to have you here. The Mark A, because you always think in America, Canada say A at the end of everything. So like, if you want to get some beer, A, yeah. And I sound that alarm. So hopefully, Chew does not bring you a.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yes.
Well, I still have the Revolution sitting here, so
he's
I'm covered for now.
He's like, we're driving tonight. She can't want another beer.
Damn
it. He's going to be starting the drive. We discussed it earlier, so
yeah.
I knew that I was going to have at least 3 during this, so.
Like that, at least 3. I'm going to at least 3.
Well, I usually do 4. I toned it down tonight.
That's more than the initial Frank the Tank. I'll do 1. He's gonna do 1.
Going streaky.
He said, I think if someone would have given Hitler a Ricola in his end, actually might not have had all those issues. Might have been. I'm just saying. Like you said, that mustache could have been the situation that kind of teed everything off. If the barber gave him a bad cut, and then they're like, "Oh no, you got to keep it." He's like, "I don't want to keep
barber's
it."
Fault.
You know,
the barber's fault.
They're like, "You got a little thing on your lip." That's my mustache.
Where's the rest of it?
Somebody makes one more joke about my mustache, I'm going to blow up the world.
Yeah. Seems like the best plan.
I warned you.
Mallory's a fast talker as well, so yeah.
I am. I'm sorry. Did I do something wrong?
I'm a fast talker too, so this happens. Just to Kill 1996 when Alcatraz. Eddie was fantastic. My whole family loved him.
I've seen him 4 times live. He's amazing.
Yeah.
Or she's amazing. Her name is Susie now.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know.
Yeah. She has changed her name now. But she also did 26 marathons in 26 days and stuff,
wow.
raise money for apartheid. was doing it all over Africa and stuff. So she's done a lot of amazing things. So kind of cool.
26 marathons in 26 days.
Correct.
Oh my God, I couldn't imagine. Like, wow.
She did one of them in heels as well, which she did a marathon in heels. Like, I'm not kidding. This actually happened. If you check out
That's
her
tough.
social
That's
media, she has it all on there.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Wow. JG said, I'm cutting down on my drinking too, Paul. Yeah, you gotta have the moderation balance in there. That's one thing I always talk about. Like people that I talk to and stuff, I'm always kind of getting the workouts and stuff in, but you gotta definitely make sure you're keeping that balance. I'm not seeing other people's comments.
So,
Are you not seeing people's comments?
No, Paul was watching on my channel,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't show the comments there.
Oh, until he comes over
Doesn't show
here.
Everyone's.
Okay.
It shows theirs, but I messaged him in the next message. I said, if you pop over to Rod J, you can see everything. So,
Gotcha. Yeah, this whole thing with StreamYard, how they have it set up. You have to go to the main channel to see the comments.
correct. So
Judgment Night.
know.
I remember Judgment Night. That was actually a pretty good movie back in the day. Oh, there you have right there.
Yeah, there it was.
Favorite songs of her entire growing up history is what Aubrey meant by your favorite. Like, really? Like, all of her favorite songs? I mean, that'd be a lot.
I mean, Paula Abdul was a big thing for my youth. Aerosmith was my life. That was literally everything to me.
Paula Abdul straight up?
Yep. The Moffats, Canadian band, loved them. And I was a music teacher for 7 years. I lived for music. The Andrews Sisters, Boogie Boogie Bugle Boy, and all that. Loved all that. Detroit Singers, Ella Fitzgerald, Edith Piaf, all that was my life. So there you go.
What was Todd's late 80s favorite rock song?
Late 80s favorite rock song? I had to think about that one.
He wants to rock and roll all night and part of every day.
There you go.
Yeah. What is it?
I don't think that's late 80s. Actually,
you can say Poison, Every Rose Has Its Thorn. It's okay. Nobody will pass judgment.
Well, she's gonna love it. She's gonna love it. That's
yeah.
How about Talk Dirty to Me?
Late 80s favorite rock song.
Madness.
I think back, it's like that was a long time ago now.
Our house in the middle of the street. Our house.
In the middle of the street, nothing. He's in the middle of the prairie, remember?
Yeah.
He's the little house on the prairie. He ain't in the middle of the street.
I'm in the middle of the street. Safety dance.
Yeah, it's a safety dance.
I was thinking the name of that hat. So I was like,
SSSSAAAFFFE.
It's funny you said it because I was kind of thinking that. I was like,
boom, boom.
He doesn't want to say it, but it's girls just want to have fun.
Right. I feel like it's at least like little Spandau Ballet for Todd.
Not
little true for Todd there.
I mean, you can move on while I'm thinking about it.
It's the Flight of the Valkyries from the 1780s.
Yeah, maybe a little wham in there for Todd. Of course, the best Batman was West Fight Me. Yeah, Adam West back in the day.
Oh my God, he was terrible.
We all learned. Maui thinks Val Kilmer was sexy back to her. Yeah.
He was sexy. It's still sexy. I don't care that he can't talk. In fact, that's probably a bonus.
He was probably the coolest Doc Holliday I've ever seen. So in Tombstone.
Yep.
Worst Batman was Clooney. Kilmer was awful. To be honest, both are victims of bad scripts, but Affleck is the most true to comics representation for the debonair Playboy. Bale was good as Dark Knight. Yeah. Affleck delivered a lot better than I thought he was going to deliver. My favorite, I think originally is still Michael Keaton, but I really like Christian Bale. I like the dark side that he brings to him as
Yeah.
a Dark Knight and everything.
Yeah, I like that too.
But I'm a big fan of the actor as well, Christian
He
Bale.
played American Psycho Batman
Yeah.
a little bit, so I loved it.
Like right now, one of the movies I want to see coming out, which I don't go to movies that much, but I'm interested to see Oppenheimer because no, he's not an Oppenheimer. That is what you call him, an Oppenheimer. My other guy that I like that did Peaky Blinders. I can't remember his name, but that Oppenheimer movie coming out was pretty solid looking.
Sorry, you said Oppenheimer, and I immediately thought of the guy who was like testing nuclear bombs. So
That's what it's about in the Oppenheimer movie. It's
Okay,
new
okay.
movie coming out, and I
When-
can't remember the guy's name, but the guy that's the lead for Peaky Blinders is in Oppenheimer, and it's basically about the nuclear bomb and not letting the Nazis actually get it.
So one Halloween, Chu and I dressed up as Madame Marie Curie and Robert Oppenheimer. So I did blisters on his face except where his goggles were, and like
Mhm.
his whole front was all torched and burned up and stuff, like he was watching the bombs go off. So yeah, and I glowed in the dark from head to toe. So super fun.
Oppenheimer is Cillian Murphy. I can't remember his name half the time, although I like everything he pretty much does. In The Dark Knight, he was a Scarecrow as well. But
Okay.
Cillian Murphy is a great actor, and this is coming out like July 20th, I think, or whatever. But it is about Oppenheimer and a nuclear bomb, keeping it away from the Nazis and all this kind of stuff. So it looks really good. It's done by the guy that did Dark Knight, as a matter of fact, the director, Chris Nolan.
Mm.
Patterson, though, for early Batman figuring out detective work inclusiveness, and I think we're going to get a quarter-hour story out of it. Yeah, the next one, they're working on the next the Batman sequel that's coming out, so he'll be back for that role. Keaton did the best original 80s, early 90s, in my opinion only. Roger is correct. Kim Basinger the best. Where was Roger at? Like, where's Roger? Were you trying to say me? Like, because I never said anything about her. I never said anything about that area with her. I'm just saying.
I was gonna say, yeah, I don't remember that either.
But 9.5 weeks, I do remember 9.5 weeks, and it was pretty solid.
Everybody,
Yeah.
everybody remembers 9.5 weeks. Yes.
No, when you were a teenage boy, you watched 9.5 weeks. 9.5 weeks. I don't think you ever looked at the refrigerator the same again. Like after seeing that scene in 9.5 weeks, the fridge is like, oh, that's an opportunity.
All right. It's like mind blown.
Mhm. All right, Mickey Rourke, I see what you're doing over here.
Yeah,
I
right.
might be able to work with this, you know. Now, you ever think you get your husband a phone here today or the panel distance, talk some shit with us? He just comes up and waves or brings her beer.
So he does have a YouTube channel, and he could put it with the camera off. I'll talk to him about it. I don't know if he'll go along, but he gets so shy. He's a very shy person in general. He's very much an introvert. So he'll do like the hand in and say something, but he disappears then because that's enough interaction. for
I mean,
him.
we're getting shoulder from him now, so
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
you got a little shoulder
it is
thing.
growing. It is growing.
Little shoulder, a little backhand,
Yeah.
arm,
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
like.
He's almost got enough where he
I'll talk to
can.
him and see what he thinks.
He's almost got enough where he can do the robot back there.
Almost.
Oh, he's like, hey Siri, but Siri's always nosy. Like you say anything, and she like starts to respond. Like Siri, I'm not talking to you right now. Alexa's the same way. Like Alexa,
Bixby does it too.
yeah,
It's
like
the whole
quiet,
thing.
not
It's just,
talking to you.
you're not involved in this. Shut up.
Appreciate you from Toronto, Mark. Mallory's verbal history story of the night was unbelievable, man. Yeah, you got to get your husband up here too. You are too cool, Aubrey said. So yeah.
Verbal
And-
history story of the night. I don't know what verbal history story that is. Which one was that? Was that Rod doing ski club and water polo with a horse, or
Come back to ski club and water polo with me all the time. And make sure if y'all haven't checked out Mallory's channel and Perfectly Me Crafts that you definitely subscribe there as well.
we've been slacking a bit, but that's because I am officially a manager with the brewery that I work at. By the way, I'm officially a
Congratulations.
full-time manager. I am taking on all sorts of tasks that I did not expect, and woo, there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's been fun, but
No,
my
that is
work schedule's
awesome.
been crazy.
It's funny you said Def Leppard because I was thinking like pour some sugar on me. Is like, yeah,
Oh yeah.
good
Oh, that's a
name.
great one. That's a great one.
I
Yeah.
feel like Mallory got promoted. We can give her a little bit better music. Yeah. Congrats.
Congrats.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it. I'm very excited and I am busting tail. Oh my gosh, we're going away for 6 days for Michigan and I'm still going to be working while I'm there because I have to. So, yeah.
Yeah, Def Leppard, AC/DC as well. We talked about it earlier. AC/DC, one of the first rock bands I really got into. As far as I say rock bands, as far as that really stuck with me. Now, Mal, you talked about the Andrews Sisters before. Like when I used to go listen to stuff, I would listen to old like Johnny Cash and stuff like that and everything
Oh, yeah.
too. But yeah, but as far as like contemporary coming up as a kid and during that time, AC/DC was one of those that grabbed my attention.
Yeah.
Mark mentioned Def Leppard, which Def Leppard, you had the stuff there, pour some sugar on me. But then when Def Leppard came back and the drummer, back in the 80s when he
Right.
lost his arm and came back, it was still like a one-armed
He was
drummer.
still
It was still
playing.
tearing it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
One
like
armed
that.
drummer, gotta love it.
It's like that guy might be a god. I mean, he's still killing it. So yeah.
Honestly, they said I always thought he just had one arm the whole time he played with him.
Yeah.
Aubrey wants to know how old you are, Todd.
Todd, no way older than me. I am 43.
Yeah, I'm older than that. I'll be 48 in about a month and a half or so. 2 months.
My favorite
I'm turning 40 in March.
babies. You guys are babies. Favorites growing up, yes. Owner of a Lonely Heart, Todd
Yeah.
Rundgren, XTC, 70s Genesis. He's still going with the Genesis. He doesn't like the Phil Collins stuff. He's going to stick with the 70s
Yeah.
Genesis. Buddy
70.
Weller and Kate Bush. Yeah.
Before Phil was his own entity.
Before Phil became a diva.
Milli Vanilli.
Totally.
There's nothing-
Totally Billy Vanilli, right?
There's nothing wrong with Milli Vanilli. They had, and if you say there was, you're lying because everybody liked little Milli.
The songs were fine. The lip syncing is.
I know a lot of people that sung Girl You Know Is True. I just know a lot of people that sung
Right?
that
That's
song.
what I'm
Right?
saying.
Yeah.
Like, just because they were lip syncing didn't mean it wasn't good.
It was still good music.
44.
Exactly.
All right, EB, you have a great one, my friend. Tell Erie we said hello as well.
See,
Yeah, he'll be up editing. Y'all haven't checked out the Eclectic Beer. Check him out. He is my homie that has the silver play member badge. So 100,000 subs on his channel. Chew, I'm not doing that. You don't have to bring Mal a beer right now. I'm just giving a salute there to EB. So make sure to check him out as well.
Puppy
Channel
wants
for
some
tomorrow
beer,
morning.
Todd.
He's like, damn it, I just got her one. What does she need another?
It's double meaning at this point, yeah. Only Adam Western is the cartoon. Alan Reed Essence is the whole Batman concept. And Rand Essence of the Batman concept. Cillian Murphy, yeah. That's what I was trying to think of when I found it. Yeah. Great actor. Just love the stuff he does.
No.
I was an extra in the Dark Knight. Really? Wow.
Really?
Well, part of the
Oh, I
Dark Knight,
remember he said that before. He did say
what
that.
the scene where he burns up the money is at Lagunitas in Chicago. They used the warehouse for that
Oh.
scene. So JT would be right there in the area.
I think
That is
JT
so
actually
cool.
beat up Batman in the scene. I think that was him.
You told me it was Kraft.
Liar, liar.
Still my third IPA, last one for me, unless Mallory's coming over to ask me a question or something. Everybody wants Mallory to come by and say hi.
Everyone wants my phone number. They want me to ask questions. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, keep fighting for yourself. Yeah, Mallory is awesome. I'm great to have Mallory as a part of the show here. I'll be 61 in July. When I was 12 and 74, I got into the Beatles and soon discovered Yes. Wow, Zero Cool J liked rock so much. I didn't really think he likes it better. This guy's fucking. Well, I appreciate that already. I have an appreciation for music all over. Um,
Your music history knowledge is amazing, by the way.
it's just
DJ, what was your name again? DJ. What?
in college it was big money, but
No, it's
that's
Rod DJ.
but
DJ Big Money.
I mean from my early point on is just something I always tell people like when you hear good music, you know good music. Like good music will make your hair stand up on your arms, right? Like it's
Right.
just
Yes.
the first time you hear Aretha Franklin hit that note, or you
Oh
hear
yeah.
some of the stuff from various artists, you just know when it's just good, and you know
Like-
when it has a feel, and it's just like
Drop the mic, walk away.
you walk away and just like this is going to be something huge. And music doesn't discriminate, so you have a lot of great stuff from all the different things. I've went to school in West Virginia. I found an appreciation for some of the bluegrass type music that you would hear out there. But you also, growing up when hip hop came out, early rap kind of was in that, kind of in rock. I find stuff in metal that I enjoy. I find stuff in classic rock. The only thing I really don't get into as much, although I will listen to some, is probably country. But there's some good country tunes that are out there too. Some good country artists that put some stuff out. And then in the 90s, when I was a DJ, we were an alternative station. So I had a lot of alternative music. So I got into things like Cowboy Junkies, REM, Bush, different artists before they became kind of big where you kind of knew them later on, Soundgarden and all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There's just so many good things out there, and how it's an art. So it's how you appreciate that art that's actually being out there as well. You can listen to anything. I tell people, listen to good music. You kind of want to sit there, close your eyes, and just listen to that music talk to you. And it's just so many good things that are out there. And so I love finding out about the music. Is why I do the reaction channel, which is the other channel, which is stuff I got to update this weekend on that one. But I do a lot of stuff out of the UK, and it's just like amazing hearing some of the artists out there. One of the latest ones I just did was an artist named Ren that just he's captivating in the music he actually puts out there. And it's kind of I guess if I had to describe it, it's almost like a speed punk hip hop type feel to it as far as what he actually does. You'd have to hear it, but if you look at the Rod J Reacts channel, Ren was the last one I did a reaction on, and it's kind of like it pulls you in, and you hear the lyrics and stuff that he's doing, but at the same point, the rhythm and the melodies that hit are kind of just something that seems so different than what you hear out there. And I love that. I love the experience when you're finding these new artists that are doing stuff. And music is just a nice little way to get away from stuff too. Just to sit back and listen to music and get away from the news and some of the other BS stuff of the day. Just kind of
just put you on like a cloud on your own, like just out there.
Yeah.
Relaxing and chilling in a whole different universe, sort of.
Yeah. And when music is done in certain ways, it can be educating, it can be teaching, and you can learn a lot of different things. I mean, there's different things that are spoke about that make you kind of think. It's kind of like a good comedian, right? A good comedian makes you laugh, but they also make you think. That's why I used to love like George Carlin when he performed. I love Chris Rock when he performed. I love those artists that actually make you think, but also are able to deliver. I like lots of Dave Chappelle does, whether you feel a certain way about some of the stuff he does, he makes you think when he's actually doing it. Lenny Bruce
kind of pushes the edge of the boundaries, like
right, and that's how it should be. Richard Pryor, master at it. It's kind of like
Rod J. In Mbop, you're gone. Just so you know.
In the Umbop, you're going in the Umbop.
Mbop, you're gone.
I may have missed that in the lyrics there. I'd have to go back and listen to that. It's like,
honestly, seriously, look up the lyrics. It's messed up. They're talking about like planting a flower and you don't know what flower is going to grow, but it's going to die. Not kidding. This is how that song goes. It's weird.
Well, it's funny. You were talking about the Hanson versus the group that you liked at Canada. And I'm like, this is basically sound like the Brady Bunch versus the Partridge Family.
Cheers. That is 100% the level this is at.
Because back in the 80s, it was like you like the
but
Brady Bunch.
I lost 2 friends for a year over it. So
yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
People take music seriously, you know.
They do. They
It's
really do.
it's like the whole like I apparently I found out like the Swifties. Ooh, don't mess with them. Taylor Swift
No,
Oh.
crew.
no.
I'm
You
glad
don't
Sam's
Yeah.
out here. She'd be fighting you on this.
Yeah, you don't want to mess. You don't want to mess with the Swifties. They roll tough.
Just out of curiosity, so I don't know. I'm a huge Jim Henson fan, or Jim Henson fan. Sorry,
Jim Henson,
so
Muppets.
Jim Henson, the Muppets. Yes, they have a new show that came out, and it has Lily Singh in it, who was a YouTuber or something like. But in that show, they have the band, the Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem. It's all about them specific,
Mm-hmm.
and they post things on social media that piss off all of the other bands, and they have their van and they're attacked by the Swifties, the Beyonce crew, which
Oh,
is
the Queen Beehive or whatever.
the
Yeah, the
Beehive,
Beehive. Yeah,
and
yeah.
then they have the Justin Bieber ones,
Justin Bieber has a group now.
Believers, the
The
Believers,
Believers. Ooh.
Believers, and then but like their van gets attacked by the fans of all these. Hilarious. If no one, if you haven't seen the new Muppets thing, I still watch cartoons. I don't
Hey,
like
nothing wrong with that.
life.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
Real life stuff has too much drama. I have enough drama. I don't need their drama.
Yeah.
I don't bring that into my space. So Muppets is like my level. That's perfect
Yeah.
because I don't have to exist in that stress.
I feel like
So,
I feel like the Muppets need the Miller High crew for security.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But the show is great. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it because we were busting up laughing at a lot of this. So very amusing.
Was it like on Cartoon Network or something, or where?
No, it was on Hulu.
Okay,
Or
Hulu.
no, Hulu
Okay.
or Disney. Disney owns Muppets now, I think. So it might have been on Disney Plus, but either way, fantastic, highly recommended, super cute, low stress. You can turn off your brain while you watch it. Great.
Okay. But JT said he was in the mayor's assassination scene on LaSalle Street
Oh,
from the
okay.
Batman movie. I feel like why is JT around something political? I feel like that's kind of weird because he's pretty political and stuff.
Well, getting to be an extra in a movie is super fun. Why not?
Near the lamppost on the left. There you go.
All
I wonder
right.
in the credits does it say guy near lamppost on the left and it has JT in there, right? More country music lately. Listen to Williams, Townsend Zant, Grant Parsons, Julian Welsh. So yeah, there's some good stuff. I mean, really, when you look at country, when you look at the history of country, a lot of it is blues, basically slowed down to a different type thing. So it's very similar to that. And I love some great blues as well. That's one of the things I was telling some of the guys out of Chicago. I passed one of the bars. I think I had been there back in the 80s, but it was just like you get good blues music there. Probably two of the cities I've had good blues music is Chicago, and the other one was New Orleans.
No, there are some amazing jazz clubs and blues clubs here in Chicago that are just, it'll knock your socks off.
Mhm.
There are places where, actually, we went to one a couple weeks ago that when you're in there and the music starts, no one's allowed to talk.
Yeah.
If you start talking to the people in your party while the music's on, they will ask you to leave.
Wow. Yeah.
Like they ain't messing around. It's actual, like, it's about the music, and I love it. But they couldn't make an old fashioned to save their life. Oh my god, it was depressing. That old fashioned was one of the worst ones I've ever had, and I love an old fashioned. That was sad. But if you're just having beer, you're good.
Yeah. Johnny Cash and Hank. Yeah, I mean, I was pretty happy when they made the Walk the Line movie. But yeah, listen to Johnny Cash, some of his stuff there.
Yeah,
He had been one of those kind of older artists that, as a kid, I would listen to at the library on some of the stuff. I mean, I would listen from some of the stuff like Johnny Cash to things of Beethoven at the library. I would listen to things like from the Grease soundtrack. I listened to all kind of music from different stuff that was available because like music was such a eye-opening opportunity just to hear different things. I guess it was just something that struck me, kind of having a tie to. I can listen to songs and it takes me back to different spots. It's like whenever I hear Dust in the Wind from Kansas, it takes me back to learn how to play pool because I used to play pool at a recreation center. It seemed like Dust in the Wind was always on the jukebox that you were playing. Listening to some of the different stuff, it's just always like it has meaning to it. Music just has
Right.
that meaning, and
Associated with something that
yeah,
happened or that you're used to doing or whatever.
yeah.
Is it terrible that when I hear Dust in the Wind, I think of the Bill and Ted's Amazing Adventure where they go and talk to Socrates and talk to him about what Dust in the Wind is?
Excellent adventure, yes.
No, I would say usually it's either that or it's going to
In my
be
head.
either
no
it's
matter
that or
what.
either it's that or it's Will Ferrell singing the old school. So
Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean that's the other one that people kind of
that's what
associate
I'm
that
thinking
with.
about. Yeah, I forgot
Which,
about that. Bill and Ted.
Had I been younger, I probably would associate it with old school, just like I do with "Don't Stop Believing" to The Sopranos. But music is just—it's like a
Rod, it's reviving. Reviving. Don't stop reviving.
bereaving. Don't stop
You
bereaving.
don't
Yeah.
stop believing.
A little bit of a lisp like Dusty Rose. So Susie, yeah. I mean, I've seen Susie as Eddie, so I haven't
Yeah.
seen anything
Yeah.
as Susie yet. But yeah,
Well, the Susie thing is fairly recent, within the last, 3 or 4 months, I think.
mhm. Yeah. Wow, Dress to Kill. That's a classic right there too.
Dress to Kill is amazing. Circle
Yeah.
was great.
Called this lost member of Monty Python. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I loved Monty Python. I remember as a kid, the Monty Python would come on, and it would come on like at 11 o'clock or whatever, and parents would be like, "Oh, you can't watch this. Like,
You're right, yeah.
go to bed." Or like, and it was just like this after-hour type
Yeah.
thing that parents would watch. Even though it didn't really show anything, it was just kind of the humor and stuff, I guess, with it and stuff. So, yeah.
Spam, 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 spammity, spam, spam. Sorry.
So your connection, Rob, we've both been tuned in and says, "Oh, yeah." I mean, it's just as Liz said, yeah, recognize our people. It's just you have that stuff. It's kind of like I feel tired. Like we watched the Woman King last 2 weeks ago before I went to Chicago. Me and my wife with
You watched what?
the Woman King movie. It was with Afri Howard, Finney Howard. She plays like on How to Get Away with Murder. The actress, she was the Woman
Okay.
King.
Yeah,
And
Alfred
Woodard.
Wood.
Yeah, and just the music from the movie is just like it was just so great to actually.
And
It
that,
just came together, just like the drums and all kind of. It's just
that's
it was
based on a true story also, right?
yeah, I think it is. Yeah. Like it was like she led basically a woman force of
Yes,
fighters.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Yeah,
It's a
it was really good. And it was just like I get drawn in. The acting stuff was good, but the music just kind of added an extra layer for me. I just love to hear good music. I've always been in tune with music and just kind of listen to stuff. And like when I said, I got back into DJ in the 90s, and one of my friends was working for the radio station at the time, and we did like DJ stuff on the side. But he's just like he used to come over, and we'd have records. I had like a little mixer and stuff, and I would like take one song and put another song, and he's just like, I don't even know how you came up with that combination, but it works because you just hear one thing, something, and you hear something over, and it's just like you listen to stuff so much, you kind of have a thing where you feel where this could actually work with things along those lines. So, music is pretty awesome. Me and my buddy Mike saw Holy Grail in the theater when it came out in '75. Yeah, that was a while back. Yeah. Holy Grail. And everybody remembers I think for Holy Grail is like the Black Knight scene and like the rabbit scene. I think are the two scenes talked about by most people. Yeah. An animal so vicious or whatever they say there. Like that? Like that?
Your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries.
And of course, the clapping of the coconut for the horse sound or whatever.
Oh, yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
It's merely
It wasn't in the budget.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to get wrapped.
She has huge tracts of land. Yes. All the fun. All the fun.
Tim the Enchanter. Yeah.
Oh, Tim the Enchanter.
Of course, Life of Brian is pretty funny too. So Yeah.
Life of Brian's good.
Yeah.
And what's the other one? The Meaning of Life.
Meaning of Life, yeah.
To have
The only one I never really got into from Monty Python is probably The Fish Called Wanda. And I don't know, maybe because it was more the American actors they had in
John
it.
Cleese was fun.
Yeah. But like John Cleese is part of the original troupe, but like I don't know, it just felt different to me when they did that.
But for Meaning of Life, they
Yeah.
had 80 children actors singing "Every Sperm is Sacred." 80 children singing about sperm.
Mhm.
Just putting that out there. That is Monty Python.
Yeah.
Let's take a moment. And the guy who ate too much at the restaurant, all the things. Yes.
It's like they were doing the overseas Mel Brooks stuff that we were getting here. So yeah.
Mhm.
Which I still need to watch History of the World Part 2 on Hulu. I haven't watched that yet.
I know I haven't watched it either.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch the first one again before I watched the new one.
I mean, one it was a John. I thought it was a Monty Python thing though too. It was
No,
just
that's not
John
Monty
Cleese.
Python. That's John Cleese.
That's probably why I just didn't get into it as much then. Yeah.
Yeah.
There'll be no singing here. I think we'll get wrapped up. We're at 12:30. So we kind of went through tonight. Good time.
Right, yeah.
Great blast.
Cheers. I only have
And
3 hours of driving to Michigan tonight, so
yeah. Ooh,
no traffic though. It won't be bad.
no traffic.
Easy.
But thanks for everybody that tuned in. Thanks for the new members. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for everything along those lines. Hopefully everybody's set up to have a great holiday next week. I know I got to work like half a day on Monday. It's stupid. It's
Yeah, I got to work Monday too. But
July 4th on a Tuesday. It's just like, just to shut it down early. I shut down the early part of the week. Nobody's working. So,
all right.
but I got to get up and work
Off
for
Monday
4
morning.
hours. But Mal, hopefully you have a great time camping and a great fun there.
Safe travels.
And hopefully we'll see some stuff. You can put some stuff up on his videos on your channel. And Perfectly Me Crafts. Make sure to check out Mal there. But, get you Hammer so we can see him singing around the campfire.
Oh, yes.
If I can do that, I will try.
That would be classic. Just be inconspicuous about it. Just don't let him know that you're doing it. Like, just take some phone videos. Like,
I wouldn't
I'll
choose.
have to be sneaky about it. We'll see what I can do.
I want to see Chew sing camp. What's the name of that song? Campfire.
Camptown Races?
Yeah, I want to see Chew sing Camptown Races around a campfire. That'd be hilarious.
I can make that happen.
Yeah,
I can make that happen.
Doodah.
Doodah, doodah. I don't think he knows all the words, but I do. So we're
close enough. Yeah, be close enough.
I think that would be awesome there.
Chris.
Yeah, thanks for everybody tuned in, and we'll go ahead and get signed off here. And for those of you in Cincinnati, my homeboy Trez here. Todd, you're pretty much Cincinnati other than that. You guys got a great win against the Orioles. I'm telling you, that might be a World Series preview.
Could be.
If the Reds keep playing good ball, the Orioles keep playing the ball they're playing, could be a World Series preview. So
that's
kind of nice to see my old team play my new team. So
that
was great to see.
High hopes. High hopes.
But both franchises would love to be in the series for sure. So yeah,
that'd be a good one.
According to Chew, it's the Pirates and the Tigers. We'll see how it goes.
Wow, those are two teams that I don't think are going to probably get there. But I could be wrong.
I'm a Pirates fan. He's a Tigers fan. That's why he's made up his mind. So.
Although I did see the Pirates have like the second, I think, biggest payroll now or something. So.
Pretty close.
They're getting players second or third, something in there. They're getting players.
As long as we're still paying off Barry Bonds, we're gonna have trouble, but we'll see.
It's okay.
Yeah. Do you guys got Bonds on your payroll thing, or is it it Bonds or Bonilla?
Bonilla.
No. Yeah.
It could be both.
Sorry, it was
Wait a minute.
Bonilla.
So Bonilla's getting money from the Pirates and the Mets.
No. Yeah, I think so.
That dude is a super agent.
That's
no,
okay.
his agent was amazing. His agent got him paid for like ever from
Yeah,
us. So.
Yeah,
he's
he's
still our fourth highest paid player, and he played in like 15 years. So.
Yeah. So I apologize for saying Bonds. It was Bonilla. It was one of the killer bees. It killed me for a second. Sorry.
Bonilla is the man. Yeah, he's making those dollars. So
Four of the seven top Reds players, money wise, don't even play for the Reds right now. So it's like,
I saw Ken Griffey Jr. was like number 3
yeah,
or
no,
something,
he's like
right?
number
Yeah.
4, and he ain't played in like 12 years or whatever, however long it's been.
You got to love baseball contracts.
It's all about those contracts, man.
Yeah.
You got to read all the fine print.
You're right, exactly.
All right, y'all. We are out. Y'all have a great weekend. Safe
Have a good
weekend.
4th.
Remember, happy 4th. And remember remember the fireworks so things can be a little crazy. Oh, look at that. Just that glass is just styling and profiling like Ric Flair.
10
right
fingers, 10 toes.
there. Yeah. And just remember, you do have possibly military veterans. You do have dogs, and both of them kind of react different to fireworks and stuff. So just be
Very true, very
cautious
true.
of that as well. That being said, we are out and look forward to catching up with y'all next week. Stay tuned for the new things I'll be bringing to the channel. Like I said, I have a few. If you missed it, I got a few beer authors. I say authors every time. A few beer authors, not authors. Pardon me. Do you have a fish? What was that from Arthur the movie, right? The fish thing. But I have a couple of beer authors coming up, a couple of brewery people coming up. So stay tuned. Arthur was a great movie, by the way. Dudley Moore, R.I.P. Funny movie. If you've never seen Arthur, you should definitely check it out. Great thing from back in the 90s.
Guys, it's still the Hoptimum. The Hoptimum got him.
Kicking in a little bit, yeah.
I don't know if it's a Hoptimum or the Black Ops right now, but yeah.
Oh, probably yes.
I've definitely got the
Yes.
chatty. I got the chatty Cathy going on right now. Got to sign off. Give you the old Alex. Let Alex be like, that's a copyright infringement if I use that for Alex there. But thanks for everybody that tuned in. Mal's still stroking the Rajay Beer Venture glass there, which I appreciate. Thanks for
People need to buy these. These are amazing. It's the best glass I've ever owned.
check out the merch on the merch store. We got on Zazzle. We got on Spreadshirt. I got to sign off. We're out. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
Y'all have a
Thanks,
great
everyone.
weekend. Stay safe and talk
And
to you
happy
soon.
4th of July.
Happy 4th of July. We're out.